forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
JOY.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Second one by Zavonimir.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue.
We try and get that tournament bid, so we try and get in that tournament. That's the main thing for us. We got to finish the last stretch of games, and that's how tournament games are. I've been in some, TB's been in some, and that's what it's going to take to win.
Office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
There was people tired, but you had to push through.
Chuck and Bo.
Cal's under the weather. We'll wish Coach Cal to feel better.
I think when you look at what's upcoming, I mean, the next two games.
Are you with me on that?
Oh, yeah,
I just want to make sure
no,
that you...
I didn't. I thought you were speaking for all of us.
I was.
I thought you were speaking for
everybody.
everybody.
But sometimes
right.
I'm not the best guy to speak for you.
I'm sorry,
so.
Bo. That was very well said, the way you offered condolences, or not condolences, well wishes.
My thoughts are with Cal also.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
Well, it was...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to the show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly. What a glorious night at Bud Walton Arena. 45 minutes of basketball, a Razorback win in overtime over Texas, Bart all over television, gracing our television airwaves from coast to coast, and it was just a night to remember. Great night to be a Razorback.
I was ready to go to bed. I was excited.
Too.
I was excited, but
it's a long night.
Wow, when it went to overtime, I just I wasn't sure what to do, so I cried, and then I stayed.
Yeah,
and it was marvelous, and then I got to hear you on the way home.
That made it even better.
Boy, you sounded like you had enough energy to, carry a morning show.
Really?
I thought to myself,
I was faking it.
Maybe I'll just let Chuck handle it tomorrow.
We'll
just let him bask in the glow of an hour and a half of overtime.
Our boy over here is the one that's basking in the glow.
Oh, Bart. Oh, Bart. Oh, wow. Bart was.
I mean, the game was great.
And center. Played a role. I mean, all five
You're
starters
welcome, Arkansas.
in
You're
double
welcome.
figures, and Bart in double figures as well.
Texas was afraid to go to the free throw line in the first half. I mean, basically all night. They saw Bart's cutout at the end of the floor and thought, I don't want any part of that free throw line.
We understand that it's not all about Bart, but
it's a lot about
kind of like Taylor Swift and the Chiefs. I mean, Bart had more airtime than Taylor Swift had at the Super Bowl.
That really is true.
Yeah, that is very true.
That is very true.
And we've got it cut up, and he's going to send it to her. as his resume reel.
You know, I don't think it should be lost. And we'll get back to Bart in just a moment. I don't think it should be lost because I'm tired right now. You're tired right now. 7 guys played 45 minutes. And, I mean, they busted it last night. Trevin Brazil played 39 minutes. I don't know if he's played like 10 in a game the last 2. He was sucking air. Lots of them were. But they found a way to win. Texas struggles on the road, and that helped. But that was a good win. That was a really good win.
Good morning. The Hogs win 86-81 in overtime. Chuck Barrett with the call.
Second one by Zavonimir. No good. Kaluma with a rebound. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Johnson at the logo fires a 3. No good at the horn. Arkansas wins. The Razorbacks win it. 86-81 in overtime. A hard-earned victory over the Texas Longhorns and a season sweep of the Burnt Orange.
I'm hearing Mike Nail, and Arkansas wins the national championship. I have those vibes with Chuck's call last night.
It was fun last night. It was a good win. I mean, it really was.
You like the hat?
It is nice. I just noticed that. Yeah, it's
Should
good.
have put it on Bart's cutout last night.
There were a lot of suggestions in the arena last night on ways that we could have added to Bart's cutout.
Well, you got to start
messages that could have been. There's a lot of. There's a lot of area right there.
There is. The biggest complaint I had that the Chuck and Bo sticker that Bart is wearing in the cutout was not big enough.
Yeah.
But it served its purpose. And, wow, what a win, what a game. And to sweep Texas, listen, Texas played so desperate in the second half.
They did.
Like, you can't play any harder than they played. And here's how I know. It's because their entire coaching staff, which was like 12 or 15 people, I mean, it maybe half of that. It felt like 8 guys. Their entire coaching staff was also trying to play the game.
Yeah.
Like every possession, they're all up and just going bananas.
Hey.
I just kept looking down there because there's literally like 5-6 guys, coaches that are up on the sideline in defensive stances, like just clapping their hands. Like I'm like, these guys are playing. They're playing. I mean, this is how. But when you see that, you know how desperate, and how meaningful this game is. Joe Lunardi said, which, by the way, nobody's more quoted in all of sports right now than Joe Lunardi.
Oh, he's the man.
I mean, it's like presidential quotes. Like when you read a news story right now, it's all about the new administration and the new president and all this. Like. Every sports college basketball article you read has Joe Lunardi's name in it. Joe Lunardi said going into the game that the loser of this game would be hanging by a thread. This game felt like a play-in game to the NCAA tournament. It felt like a tournament game. It felt like if you lose, you go home. And the problem is that's not true if you win. But it was played like that. And they still got to keep playing. But that game felt like, especially as it got into overtime, it just felt like you can't lose this game. By the way, can we have a reality, like an honest check, like a self-eval check real quick? Like, raise your hand if when they went to overtime and Texas and Trey Johnson made that 3 to start overtime. Raise your hand if you thought Arkansas was going to win the game.
I thought they were going to win, but I thought it was going to be like right down to the wire.
I looked around Bud Walton Arena, and I don't know what it was about this seat, but this particular seat, I just had a great view of the rest of the arena.
Well, courtside.
No, I wasn't courtside.
I mean, there's nobody to obstruct you
can't
except the ref.
You can't see anything from courtside except the game. I mean, you got to look up, But, I was in this great position where you could kind of see the bowl. I mean, it's a great seat up there at the very top with the chain link fence out. You can see out the side of the top of the building.
That is a good seat.
But anyhow, I'm watching the crowd, and the crowd went from it was a great crowd, and we can get into this more later about just the different dynamics of the crowd that I also noticed. But a large part, I'm going to say 3/4 of the crowd in overtime was sort of standing there with their arms crossed like a dad that's told their kid to clean his room 5 times, and they're standing there wondering if he's going to do it this time. It was like so observant, everybody's just like, it had this feel of like, just go ahead and kick me in the crotch and get it over with. Or maybe we're going to go win this game. It was somewhere on either side of that. Like I'm ready. Go ahead. Just kick me. Just punch me right in the face. Go ahead. I can take it. I've been here before. And then the glee of it not happening was the view I had.
Well, I think everyone knew that Trey Johnson was perfectly capable of taking everything over for the next 5 minutes. I think that was the fear factor because he's the one that hit the shot.
I'd just like to congratulate the Hogs to hold them under 40.
Man, that guy can play now.
He is a for sure lottery pick.
He's the leading scorer in the SEC. Not the first time he's done that.
I want you to think about the players Arkansas has, and I know they haven't always played as well as you want them to, but when the roster was assembled, it was like these guys are really, really good. Okay, they got really good players. Trey Johnson was unquestionably the best player on the floor, and it's not close.
Texas should have more of those guys. I'm going to be brutally honest right here and tell you I am surprised Texas is not more talented than they are. They are Texas. But Trey Johnson, you're right. I mean, he's a first-round draft pick. He's a lottery pick.
Smart.
He's smart player, good shooter, quick release. But he lost last night.
Sure did. Second time this year he's lost to the Razorbacks.
That's kind of
Arkansas
where it is.
0 or Arkansas 2, Trey Johnson 0.
That's right. And
Frank Haith, by the way. Frank Haith.
That's what I was going to
Assistant
I was going to say, I really enjoyed Frank Haith walking off the court at Bud Walton Arena with another loss.
If you don't know what we're talking about, just look Frank Haith up. You won't like him either. Nothing personal.
No, never personal.
He's earned that. He's earned that over the years at Missouri and Tulsa and wherever else he's coached. But he's a perfectly a Texas assistant. How about that? Can we just give just a little golf clap today? Like if you're waking up this morning, do you understand how big of a win that was? I think
it was big.
I mean, that was massive.
I'm sitting there looking right now at the stat sheet and just the minutes played. You played with 7 guys, and the minutes played just incredible. I mean, Carter Knox plays over 40 minutes. This was a guy that played 36 the other night against Missouri, and that was his season high. So you got guys that are pushing themselves physically. And, when we talk about simple things like being in shape, conditioning, game shape, they've got it. That's one of the things that I think is overlooked, is that when you're playing, even with 8 guys, even with 9 guys, you better be able to do it for 40 minutes, or in the case of last night, 45. Arkansas won it at the foul line. They made 23 free throws. Texas made 12. Texas only shot 13. That's a pretty good percentage. Arkansas 23 of 31, but it was just the volume. And, before people say Texas got Bud Waltoned,
that'll be said outside of the people that were at the game.
But let's remember, South Carolina shot 45 free throws against Texas last Saturday. That's how they won the game. Part of Texas's problem right now is they can't play defense without fouling. And that's one of the things Arkansas is doing well right now. I don't think that should be lost in any of this discussion. They're not sending the opposition to the foul line over and over and over again. They've had halves here and there where they have, second half against Missouri. But for the most part, they've kept the other guys off the foul line.
Friends, that's the kind of analysis you just won't get.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I thought free throws, the way the game was called, I thought a lot of things favored the Razorbacks last night. We'll take it. I mean, you should get that on your home floor.
Friends, again, that's the kind of analysis you won't get just anywhere. I'm not kidding. That's serious. I was about to go here before you went somewhere great, which is, referring to other games, which really brings it into perspective. I was about to say this. The refs had to be beaten last night, too, in the second half. There were a number of calls that just went against Arkansas, a number of surprising calls. And at one point, I think the foul discrepancy was like Arkansas had 10 and Texas had 3 or 4.
Yeah. Oh, Rodney Terry was going ballistic. If he hadn't gotten teed up earlier, he would have gotten one late. But if he'd gotten one late, he'd have been gone.
But Arkansas did not have the benefit of the whistle for a good portion of the second half, or I don't think this game goes to overtime.
You may be right.
So when you look at the free throws and you just read the box score, you don't know that. But there was a point in the game, and it led to. And look, Arkansas made some mistakes, but the whistle, however you want to say it. If you want to say they were getting hosed, that's what I'll just say. The whistle wasn't going their way for a big part of the second half.
You know, one of the things I've noticed the last month particularly is, I mean, it is, man, it's a physical game out there right now. And they've stopped calling things like traveling. So, but it's, man, that's a tough job. That is a tough job. There's so much. It's almost like, you know, in football you hear people say, well, they call holding on every play, which is probably true. You could call a foul every time down the floor. I mean, you'd be there 3 hours, but you could do it.
You're right about it being a really tough job.
It is.
It's a really tough job. And we forget that, like anything else that we don't actually do.
Poor Chuck Jones. I mean, he was getting it from everybody last night. I'm not sympathizing. I mean, everybody's got a job, and people are going to criticize you, and that's how it works. But that's a tough job. It was tough last night.
Yeah, made me just think of our next opportunity with Bart as a cutout in the stands. Which, by the way, thanks for all the picters. We'll get into this as the show goes on.
Yeah, I want to hear more about that.
It was really great of all the pictures that.
By the way,
came
Peyton
in.
was awesome.
Peyton
was
Grunder
just
that
awesome.
held Bart up, Bart in his arms all night.
When the doors opened for the students, I was down at the table and just happened to be talking to one of the ushers, just shooting the breeze. And all of a sudden I look up and there's Peyton. You know, there's like 15 fans, and one of them's Peyton.
He was there first.
And Bart.
And make sure,
holding Bart. Making sure everybody saw it.
The next idea is a cutout with Bart having his arm around Doug Schau's.
Well,
I think that's the next.
I don't know
when we find Doug Schau, we need to get that done. And
Look
then
at this shot right here.
Oh yeah,
can you see that?
That's on television.
I know that's a television shot from ESPN last night.
Bart was front and center all over TV, all over the big screen.
It's like he was Wilson.
Whoever was running the in-house camera fell in love with Bart, much like the cameras fall in love with Taylor Swift. I mean, he was up there for like 30 seconds.
I heard you were on the big
timeouts.
screen. Once the game started, I didn't really, I couldn't pay attention. But that's the word on the street.
It was breathtaking. It really was. In 2 words, breathtaking. 6:16. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. The Hogs win. Back in a minute. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right. Well, congratulations, Coach.
I made some good calls today.
You sure did. You sure did.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you bank at First Security, you're choosing better for yourself and fellow Arkansans. Better service from friendly professionals who really invest in your goals. Better solutions with convenient tools and smart resources. And better support for the things that matter to you, as well as the communities that matter to us all. Because finding your better at First Security makes Arkansas better too. First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
2025 is here, and Fayetteville Auto Park is making it easier than ever to elevate your drive during our New Year's sale. Every pre-owned vehicle, hundreds and hundreds to choose from, all with clearance pricing for a limited time. That's right, Fayetteville Auto Park has clearance priced every used car, truck, and SUV in stock. One-owner trades, budget buys, luxury vehicles, off-lease cars, even certified pre-owned, with special finance rates and warranties up to 100,000 miles. Buy now at all 4 Fayetteville Auto Park locations. That's Acura of Fayetteville, Honda of Fayetteville, Toyota of Fayetteville, and Chevrolet of Fayetteville. It's time to drive in 2025, and no one makes it easier than Fayetteville Auto Park. Take advantage of clearance pricing on every pre-owned vehicle now during our New Year's sale. Limited time only at Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
Man, can you imagine if we all lived together, if we just walked into the living room at like 6 a.m. and just started talking each other's heads off? There's no good morning. I can't have my first cup of
somebody
coffee.
would get shot.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The Hit That That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools. Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports.
I think the boys program, we definitely thrive off the energy and the emotion. I think as a coach, it's a big thing to kind of just help those guys rein that in, myself included. You know, there's times we have to take a step back, take a breath during a timeout, and just sit there and breathe.
New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're losing the gist of what I'm saying.
Not.
You're
I'm
losing.
not, but I had a moment to pounce on a great moment, and I did. I agree with you, and I love you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
877-377-6963. That's the number that'll get you into the program. Call or text. Hogs win. South Carolina Saturday. Bobby is in Cave Springs. Bobby, you get the first word on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Hog Noxious, what's up?
That is great morning to be a Razorback fan. Hey, a lot of times after the losses, we've heard a lot of people talk about, well, we just don't have enough good players. We don't have enough studs. When we hit shots with the guys that we have, we've got enough studs. We played a great first half of basketball. And but the problem is we've never had the same team. They didn't have enough time together to start with, and then they haven't had enough time together during the season because we keep getting injuries, changing the team that's on the floor. Anyway, I thought we had played so well in the first half that we could get it down to the second half. Also, we had enough coaches on the bench wearing plum in their jackets and their clothes that I thought that was going to get us over the edge. But then when it started going south and we couldn't hit the shots going down the stretch, I knew I had to do something. So I got a sleeve of the Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies, and that I'm quite convinced that's what got us over the hump. Do you guys know how many boxes of these Thin Mint cookies I have to eat before they start making me thinner?
Well, I doubt you're on your way yet. I mean, you got to eat a lot more.
What a great dad joke.
Yeah,
that's such a great
that
dad joke at 6:23. That's awesome. And it's a great question. And by the way, I don't know about anybody else, but I relate to all that. That is so relatable. Like it went to overtime, and so many people got up off their couch or their chair, and they went into the pantry, and they're like, okay, fine. What am I getting into? We got a whole other overtime. Little did they know they were going to need a lunch in the middle of the overtime. I guess that went forever.
They did.
Forever. What a game. You're right. Hog Knox is great to hear from you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, great. Hey, great point about the first half.
I thought they played one of their best halves of the season in the first half.
Another great point is that what he said about these guys haven't had the same team on there out there, like seemingly ever. By the way, did anybody else just sort of like, you saw Trevin Brazil start and you were kind of like, he's not had the kind of year he hoped to have and wants to have and hasn't played that many minutes. And when he started, I don't know about anybody else, but for a moment you're just like, that's the answer? And we were all sitting around, who's going to be the MVP tonight? Who's going to step up? And if I had made you pick Trevin Brazil, like if we had drawn names out of a hat, I mean, be honest, you'd have been like, and I'm not picking on him. I'm just saying it hadn't been a great year. What a great night for him. But isn't that how it goes? Like this is why you can have all of these crazy bets, all these prop bets. You're like, I think I'll throw something on that. It's because it's sports and it's unpredictable. And of course, we would pick literally anybody else on the team to be the MVP last night. Billy Richmond to be the MVP last night, and they all played well. And at times, there were moments where certain guys didn't, but they all played collectively well. And TB had a game now. Like, that was a game.
He had 12 and 8. He had 10 and 6 at the end of the first half.
It's when things happen. The put-back dunk, the 2 threes early in the game. Played pretty good defense.
He played 39 minutes, almost 40. 39 minutes, 44 seconds. And again, this was a guy that had not been playing much of late. I think, and this is one of the things that this staff does a really good job of, and that's creating a mindset. Bobby's right when he talks about how they've not had the same group on the floor, and it's been this way all season long. But yet, here we are at the end, and they are playing as one. There may be only 7 of them out there, but they are playing as one right now. And I don't know how far they can go. I don't know what's going to happen at South Carolina. Let me tell you, if you spend too much time celebrating last night, South Carolina break your heart Saturday.
Chuck just went into coach mode.
Well,
that's so good.
I'm just saying.
That's exactly what will be said.
Well, it's true. It's true.
That's exactly what will be said.
That team just ran Texas off the floor.
That's the first thing that'll be said.
Well,
that's very good.
But, there's 3 games to play. 2 of them are on the road. As good as this 2-game home swing was, I mean, now you've got – and Vanderbilt's playing just as well as anybody out there right now, and you got to go there Tuesday.
Kenny Payne met with the media, lead assistant for John Calipari and the Razorbacks.
TB is a basketball player. Our job is to get the best out of him. He is a talented young man who at times is hard to tell because he's second-guessing who he is as a player. He should not be that player. He should never second-guess how good he is. He just has to apply himself and let it go.
There you go.
He did last
night.
He did last night.
By the way, if you're just joining us, Chuck and I are doing the post-game show. The game just ended, and we are here. It was an all-nighter, and this is the Razorback post-game show. Glad you're here. We're just making it dual today. It's the Chuck and Bo show. So if you want to jump in, you're probably just getting home from the game. We're taking your calls, reactions, text to 877-377-6963. By the way, if you'd never seen Bart before and you saw him on television last night, what do you think? Strapping young fella.
That is a handsome young man right
strapping,
there.
Strapping, handsome young man.
Yeah.
What do you think? What a tall drink of water.
He's the newest sex symbol. It was a banner night for
Look,
Bart.
I know we've been up all night. It feels like the end of the day.
Maybe that's overstating.
For some people,
bit.
it is the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
For some people, that's not how they want to wake up necessarily. Hearing about what you said.
Like that's the worst thing they're going to hear today. Give me a break. Stop being a prude. Stop this fake prude act. Sex symbol is not over the top.
Chuck he just said,
give me a
break.
break.
That's the worst thing you're going to hear today. These kids go to middle school. They go to junior high.
They're going to hear
Have you
far
been to
worse.
one of those lately?
They're going to hear far worse.
At 6:28, we're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. First Security Bank's all about banking better. They're all about the Razorbacks. They're all about our communities. They're in our communities, and they have convenient locations all over Arkansas, helping you bank better every day. FSBank.com is how you can bank online, or just check out more about them at fsbank.com. First Security Bank, member FDIC. Good morning.
Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge. If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In-Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In-Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In-Stock Parts.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gastons, a first-class time, every time.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Hey, back at Harry Robinson's Saddle-Saw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Saddle-Saw. The weather's put everybody behind, and I know this weekend it's a big time for Troy, you and your staff to get caught up during the Salesman Showdown.
Yes, it definitely is. You know, this snow kind of slowed us down a little bit, but we're not going to let it scare us. We're not going to let it stop us, and we're going to make sure that you still get the best deal out there. So if you're looking for a vehicle, come down to Harry Robinson Saddle-Saw Ford, up to $13,000 off of new 24 F-150s, all that's remaining. We've got up to $10,000 off of all remaining 24 Expeditions, and the big kicker here, the big thing, we're going to match your down payment up to $1,500. So if you don't have $1,500 and you only have $750, that now turns into $1,500. $1,000 is now $2,000. $1,500 is now $3,000. So come down here and see us.
It's the Salesman Showdown sale. Harry Robinson, Saddle-Saw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Saddle-Saw.
As we wrap up the 10th annual Miracles and Magic Mediathon benefiting Arkansas Children's Northwest, we want to send a huge thank you to our incredible sponsors, Crabtree RV, Slotsky's, Heartland Honda, Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and Ozarks Electric Cooperative. Because of your partnership, children right here at home will be better today and healthier tomorrow. And to our amazing listeners, your donations make miracles happen. Thank you for bringing hope, healing, and smiles to so many lives. This wouldn't be possible without you. Together, we're making a difference. Thank you.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Do you adhere to a budget, Chuck?
Not as well as I should.
Yeah, same.
Some people are like that.
I admire those people. I'm
not one of
I
them.
need to get on that plane.
I need to get on that plane too.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Phillips and Mountain Home up early. Going to what grade are we in again, Philip? What grade are we going to today?
Sixth grade.
So we're headed to sixth grade today. We have breakfast yet? We're up and at 'em. Did you sleep last night?
I did.
Okay.
What'd you think of that game?
I tried to. After,
Oh, he's going to tell us.
I tried to after the Texas game.
What'd you think about it?
Man, it was awesome. That Texas game, we had a great first half too, but we had a great first half. Our defense kind of started slipping a little bit in the second half, but offensively, both the first and second half of the basketball game were amazing. Like we played as a team while Texas was getting like all their points from this Traymon Mark guy. He scored like 39 of their points.
Trey Johnson.
Trey Johnson.
Trey Johnson.
Yeah.
Traymon Mark is the former Razorback who has really struggled against Arkansas. But it's easy to get confused.
But Trey Johnson was good. You're right.
Yeah, he's like a freshman. I'm pretty sure he broke like Kevin Durant's single scoring game record or whatever.
But he lost. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. But well, 86-81. I think. Okay, how many games do we need to win to make it to March Madness?
Oh gosh, here we go.
Well,
That's the good.
Wait,
Philip,
let's
thanks
just
for
get
the
right
call.
to the
Let's
crux
just get
of the
right to
matter.
it. We go live. Edward Bubble Bart. We go live to
Let's go
Bubble
to
Bart.
Bubble Bart.
Chevy of Fayetteville, your number one Chevy dealer in Northwest Arkansas with the Situation Room. Here's Bubble Bart. Tell us about it, Bart.
What's
I'm
the
looking
story,
at
Bub?
all the other Bubble games, and you know what it says, Chuck? All the Bubble Watch games. I know you read the notes.
Bad, good, good.
Bad, good, bad. Those are the bubble results from last night. So where does that leave us, Bart?
Yeah, so, I mean, look, I think Arkansas is in good position right now after the win over Texas. I think they're in a relatively safe spot, or as safe as you can be when life's on the bubble. I mean, there are really 12 teams, I think, that are competing for the final 8 spots in the field, and I think Arkansas is probably in the top 4 of those teams right now. I honestly think that if the season ended today, Arkansas would not be going to Dayton. They would be in the field. Like they would be in the field of 64
I think
teams.
they're going to be a 10 seed when the dust settles.
Thank you, Bart. Let's go live to Chuck for analysis on that.
No, I'm not analyzing.
No,
I'm
well,
just
during
saying
the
that I
break, you
think-
had a lot of things to say.
Well, I was talking about Texas then and what they're going to have to do during the offseason.
Well, there were things before you mentioned their firing of their coach.
I don't recall exactly what that was, but
you think Arkansas is firmly in the field?
I think, if the tournament started today, yes, I think they'd be a 10 seed. Now, here's the thing, and I know that this is going to sound far-fetched. Mathematically, Arkansas could still get in the top 8 and avoid playing on Wednesday. See, I disagree that Oklahoma losing to Kentucky is good for Arkansas. I don't know that it's consequential, honestly, but I think that I'd like to catch Kentucky. I'll just put it that way. Arkansas right now is 2 back of Kentucky. If Oklahoma had won last night, that would have been 1 back. I don't think Arkansas is going to get into the top 8, just to be honest.
Why do you want to catch Kentucky?
Just for fun.
Ole Miss is right there with Kentucky. They're tied for 7th in the
and
league,
Mississippi State is a game ahead of Arkansas. You
Along
play
with
them,
Vanderbilt.
You play them. You own the tiebreak over Kentucky. You play Vanderbilt. You play Mississippi State. So mathematically it is out there.
These
yes.
guys need their own podcast.
Here's
Bubble Bart and Chuck. Ask Chuck alongside Bubble Bart.
Bubble Bart knows more than I
We're
do
here to talk
about
to
it. He
him.
keeps up
But
with
it's
it
not-
more than I do.
It's not about knowing. We go to the professor over here sometimes, but what we really want is you saying things like, "And why does that matter, Chuck?" Just for fun. I mean, it's great. It's true. It's most people.
I'd
It's
like-
like we just want.
well-
we don't even know why. We're just like, oh, that's how I feel. Like it'd be great to have a better record.
Here's
than
the
those guys
thing: if
that
you
wore us
catch
out for a
Kentucky,
year.
though, here's the thing: if you catch Kentucky, if you beat Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, and have that win over Kentucky, you've got the tiebreak over all these guys. And I happen to think that the winner of the conference tournament is going to start play on Thursday. I think it's going to be hard for a team to win 5 straight games and win that conference tournament. I'm not saying it's the end-all, be-all, but somebody's got to win it. Somebody's got to play for 5 straight days. And if it's not LSU or South Carolina or maybe Georgia or Oklahoma, whoever's doing it's going to have to turn around and play again on Thursday or Friday. That's just the hard reality of the conference tournament. So my thought is that, I mean, this team's playing well. Let's figure out a way to not play on Wednesday. Now, again, the odds are long there, and I fully acknowledge that. But I think that's important. I think it's important for a team that's going to win that tournament or win enough games to maybe improve a seeding or solidify their spot on the bubble. It's going to be hard to start on Wednesday and still be playing Sunday.
Well, the other thing is if you play on Thursday, your chances of not making the NCAA tournament because you lose that game
That's right.
go way down.
That's exactly right.
Because you're probably playing a better team.
And again, that's a long shot. But I'm saying as long as it's out there, that's something to play for.
We're all about long shots here. Ask Bart, how'd you do? How'd you do last night on that triple parlay?
how'd that go?
Well, Utah State let the parlay down. They were playing a bubble team, Boise State, and got demolished.
Wow. Where did they play that game?
That game, I believe it was in Boise.
The Kroger is it the Kroger Center?
I think they're Albertsons people over there.
That's right.
That's right. They're
Albertsons.
Albertsons.
Sorry.
That's
Wow.
exactly
Kroger's
right.
in Cincinnati.
That was a big miss. My apologies to everyone at Albertsons. I mean,
that is an Albertsons town.
I would say just on a personal note, I did have a bet last night that didn't hit.
On a personal note.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
A bet that didn't hit.
What was her name?
Yeah. Otherwise, it was a great night for you, Bart. I mean, you're on TV. You're all over the place.
You're the one that called it a personal note.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're distinguishing, between personal and what.
It was a bet. It was a gambling bet that I had.
You actually placed sports.
I
You
didn't know
actually
they had
placed a
that.
wager.
I
You
didn't-
weren't just talking about it on the air. You actually did it.
I didn't know.
Yes.
I didn't know they had
Well,
that.
what'd
at
you
the
lose?
Oaklawn Sports app.
Well,
Which game? The personal bet.
will she say yes?
I-
I
Go to
didn't
the
even know
personal
that was.
section.
I had this bet, and it was like it was a parlay. Every once in a while, I like to just throw out kind of a ridiculous
I hear
parlay just for fun.
Sure, who doesn't?
And every leg of this parlay hit except for one.
What?
And I just needed.
What was the game, Bart? For the love of God, what was the game?
We're dying to know. What did Sally say?
It was plus 1,000 on the board that she would say yes.
But it
I
was-
threw $10 in just on a lark.
Oaklawn had a 10% profit margin. They added it to it was plus 1,100. What'd she say?
What was the bet?
I just needed Ole Miss to lose by less than 17 points,
You bet on Ole Miss?
and they got beat by 30.
Wow.
Well, the bet was that they would lose by less than 17. That's pretty good. That's I can't. But this is how it goes with sports gambling.
That's right.
Like nobody had Trevin Brazil being the player of the game last night. Nobody had him. Nobody.
Hey, Michigan State won though. Michigan State
And they
won.
had a half-court heave.
Yeah.
Beyond
Yeah.
half-court.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
that was something we could all get behind.
Yeah.
Gillespie for three. Goal or no. Holloman looks the clock. Half court for the win. Oh! Oh my goodness!
That's the best part.
To win it on the road.
Oh!
Court for the win.
That's awesome.
You gotta love it.
I was tired when
That's
I walked
sports.
in here. Yeah.
That's sports.
Yeah.
Chuck,
That was at Maryland, by the way.
I know.
Oh, yeah, SVP was
Brutal.
there.
Yeah.
Everybody was there.
Brutal. Heavens to Betsy.
Oh, gosh. We got to hit a break. I'm having too much fun. I don't want to hit a break. But we're going to have to. 877-377-6963. That's what you say when you buy a house with a Weicker, Chuck.
That's exactly what you say. Oh, you caught me, man. I thought you were going, oh, you burned me. That's what I get. Bo just taught me a hard lesson about taking my headsets off too soon. Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say before I took my headsets off.
One bite into a kolache.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, man. All right.
Time for a snack.
I was going to
want
say.
a break?
That's right. If you want a snack, have a snack. But what I was going to say before I took my headsets
They'll make it
off,
from half court every time
That's
at Weicker.
exactly right. They will. And whether it's your first time out or whether you've done this all your life, some people move around a lot. That's just part of it. And, Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, that's the number you need to call. Those are the people that will help you. Now, for some of you, it's your first time out. If you buy a home for the first time, let's face it, you don't really know what you're doing. I didn't. What you find out is sometimes the news is good. There's money out there you didn't know was there. There are also all kinds of potential pitfalls, to be perfectly honest. And you want someone on your side of the table who can guide you through all that. That's what a professional real estate agent does. And that's what they are at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978. You can check them out at WeickerGriffin.com.
Half court shot. Good. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. 6:45. Good morning.
I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a Flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant. Ready or not, it is tax season, but luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our Hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Are you using Facebook as your website? Here are 3 reasons why that's a bad idea. 1, not everyone has it, which means you're missing out on customers. 2, you're not in control, Facebook is. You can't customize the look or fully brand your page. 3, unless you pay for ads, your page isn't getting seen. Let the Modular Orange team help you own your space online with a fully custom website that's only $95 per month. Go to modularorange.com to find out how. That's modularorange.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're telling me it's not about me.
Well, not entirely. Now, don't misunderstand me. It is all about you, but maybe not quite to the degree that we might hope.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Ready or not, it's tax season. Don't wait around, man. Get it done. H&R Block's here for you. 70 years of tax expertise going to work for you. I love it when you can go into a place and just go, here it is, and they spit it back out and say, listen, this is the 70 years of expertise that you have going to work for you, and here's the refund that's better than you thought you were going to get.
How about a check?
Can't guarantee that, but the chances that they're going to get the most that you could possibly get are 100%. 100% accuracy guaranteed. H&R Block. Find one near you. Get your taxes done now. Don't wait until April. Brent is in Searcy. Brent, you're on the post-game show here. Game just ended. Good morning.
Good morning, Chuck and Bo.
Hey, Brent.
What a game last night. That's all I can say. Great effort. Hey, who told you that we needed to we'd win the game if we had a big game from if those Adu and Trevor Brazil would bring their A games, and they both brought them yet last night.
Well, you called it, Brent.
You did.
Hey, and Bart's picture was on the TV by the first time out. I saw it.
Do you like it? Did you like the cutout?
It was front and center.
Yeah, it was a really good thing. You're very photogenic, Bart.
Oh, he's a smooth operator. I mean, Bart stepped into a whole new level of celebrity last night.
Photogenic.
And handsome, too. And he's single, ladies.
I just got to tell you, that is it number 20 or 30 that scored all the points?
Number 20. Yeah.
Yeah. Trey Johnson.
He can play.
Price of admission.
Yeah, he really was. You don't see guys score 39 very
He
often.
worked hard out there, Chuck.
No, he did. You're right. He's a good player.
They played desperate. Texas played hard. That was a desperation. Look, that felt like a Game 7.
Hey, he scored 39 points, and I didn't think they had the ball in his hands enough, just to be honest with you.
Well, I literally said at one, maybe it was overtime. I don't remember. I think it was overtime. Might have been the end of the somewhere down the stretch. But I said to somebody next to me, Glad somebody else.
Yeah,
was
well,
shot.
Arthur Kaluma put up a shot, and I'm like, thank you, Lord. I mean,
that was probably the one. I was like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Somebody else shot it. I mean, you don't want that guy to have the ball.
I may be wrong, Chuck, but wasn't Kaluma on the Creighton team
Yeah.
who played in Hawaii?
Yeah, he's on Creighton's team in Hawaii, and then he went to Kansas State last year, and now he's at Texas.
By the way, Kentucky won the game last night against Oklahoma with a player who played for Oklahoma last year.
Yeah. And then one of their players almost got hit with a beer can. Oklahoma fan threw a beer can at him as they were walking off the floor. I guess they had a little dust up at the end of that game.
Well, hey, you know.
You like
Emotions
that term,
were
dust
high.
up?
Yeah.
it's
Emotions were high. Well,
yeah.
Brent, anything else before we let you go?
Yeah.
Go, fire away.
Hello?
Yep, fire
I
away.
was on the phone this morning with a friend of mine, South Carolina fan. We got a big grudge match Saturday in Columbia.
I know.
You know, they're coming off a 40-point loss, and we're coming off a great 5-point win. Let's just keep it moving, keep it grooving, and win the last three and win 20, Chuck. What do you think?
That'd be fun. Thank you, Brent.
They've won 2 in a row now.
Yeah. And remember what we talked about yesterday, what Lenardi's been saying, that, you know, when you look at these 4 or 5 SEC bubble teams, the one that goes off on a 3-4 game winning streak, you know, that's the one that's going to be there. The others may be there too, but that's the one that's not going to be playing in Dayton, and you could be a 10 seed. Somebody's going to be a 9 seed out of that group.
It's a big, big win for the Razorbacks. I just felt like if you lose that game, this is infinitely harder. And doing it with another adversity hurdle that you had to overcome, you know, Theroux being out. And by the way, how long is he going to be out? I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't with the team last night.
Doesn't sound
From what
good.
I understand, he was out, you know, with maybe he's looking at professional future. I don't know. But he wasn't there last night, and Arkansas won.
On sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes.
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny, cooler. Our highs this afternoon in the low to mid-60s. We're nice and clear tonight, overnight low near 40. Friday, right back to sunshine, upper 60s. And then Saturday, a bounty of sunshine. Highs on Saturday, upper 50s to lower 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
Hey, back at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. The weather's put everybody behind, and I know this weekend it's a big time for Troy, you and your staff to get caught up during the Salesman Showdown.
Yes, it definitely is. You know, this snow kind of slowed us down a little bit, but we're not going to let it scare us. We're not going to let it stop us, and we're going to make sure that you still get the best deal out there. So if you're looking for a vehicle, come down to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, up to $13,000 off of new 24 F-150s, all that's remaining. We've got up to $10,000 off of all remaining 24 Expeditions, and the big kicker here, the big thing, we're going to match your down payment up to $1,500. So if you don't have $1,500 and you only have $750, that now turns into $1,500. $1,000 is now $2,000. $1,500 is now $3,000. So come down here and see us.
It's the Salesman Showdown sale. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal?
I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Proud to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
Pitchers look pretty good. Getting quite a few strikeouts over the weekend. Good to see Kendall Diggs back in there.
I'm a patient there, and you can be too. 3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
You know, Bo, you're young, you're an entrepreneur. That's why I can't understand why a veteran, well-respected, to be sucked back into the pool of talk radio. I'm sure there's money involved somewhere, and I support that. I'm a capitalist.
Yeah, it was his idea to do the show.
Yeah.
He dragged me along.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I just dragged Bo in. The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to the show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy to see you.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly. I got to tell you, boys, that first hour was so much fun. I think I'm punch drunk from lack of sleep. I don't know. So, I mean, anything could come out. inside
All-nighter.
the show today.
All-nighter.
You know, when you've not had sleep and you start laughing and somebody says something funny and before you know it, I mean, you've
Delirious.
You know, yeah, delirious. That's the word I'm looking for.
Do I have another flight by Yingling, or do I just sort of start the day? Is the day continuing, or is the day starting?
It's 50-50.
3 hours of sleep will leave you a little fuzzy.
Wow.
You know, a little bit of fuzzy.
I'm glad you slept.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did. You
Well,
just left Bud Walton and came here.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the post game show.
Took a little nap out in the car.
The game ended about an hour and a half ago. If you're just joining us, you missed a lot. They played all night.
I have to admit, I was driving home last night, and I was listening to The Late Show. I'll just call it The Late Show, after we got done. The reaction show, and I'm thinking, man, those guys are going to be up a little. Christian was on, and Matt Jones was on.
Oh, wow.
They were doing the Hog reaction show.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were doing.
Well, I mean, it's apparently one long continuation.
It's like the Super Bowl pregame show.
So, yeah, started a day before.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was a late night. I mean, no doubt. But it was fun. You know, there's very seldom, I'll tell you guys, by the time I leave the arena, I very seldom have to deal with traffic. Very seldom leaving the arena. It's like after 11 o'clock last night, people didn't leave. Lots of times game goes to overtime, you can look up and see a smattering of empties, and it was not that way. Nobody left.
No.
Maybe a few
Normally
people.
I would. And
Yeah.
I didn't. And
You
I was,
wanted to.
and
I know you did.
I did.
I
wanted
felt
to leave
you
in the
wanting to leave.
regulation. I wanted to leave.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear you. I wanted to hear the excitement on the air as I drove home without any traffic. But I didn't. And you know what? Traffic wasn't that bad. Like, I mean, there were a lot
I'm
of cars.
not saying it was
but
bad,
it moved.
but my point is it was after 11, and it was like, you know, a football game was let down.
People stayed, and there were a lot of cars, and there was a lot of traffic, but it wasn't bad. Like, it moved.
You're right.
It didn't just sit there.
That's fair.
But people stayed in their seats, and everybody left at the same time after the game. And it was that people. I think everyone knew how important the game was.
It was a big game, and it was against Texas.
And let me say this. DJ Derek killed it last night. He always does. And I know the kind of thing that happens at a game now, the atmosphere is not everybody's cup of tea, and some people want more of the band or they want more of this or whatever. But you got to realize, like, it's a personal preference, and not everybody has the same one. And you might not be in the majority. But there were, like, the energy and not allowing the energy to go away during timeouts was really well done last night. And everybody was tired. I mean, you just look around in the second half. You think the players were obviously like
They were gassed.
But like the crowd was tired. It's late. It's late. It's in the middle of the week. And it's, 10:30. And you're just, it's kind of like, I'm glad I'm here, but man, it's late.
Well, just for the record, not that I was looking at my watch, but it was after 10:30.
Well, I'm talking about before the game ended.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying in the second half.
I got
Like,
you.
get
It was a
into
long
overtime
game. It was a long game.
But they did a great job.
No, they did.
Keeping
You're
the
right.
crowd energized.
You're right.
And just turning it into a lot of, like, it was a dance party. It was a dance party
It
with
was.
in between the action.
I get the sense the last couple of weeks that Razorback fans are feeling it too. I don't know that that's been the case, quite honestly, for a good bit of the basketball season. I think they've wanted to believe. I think there have been times when they have, and there have been times when they probably threw their hands up in disgust and said, this is not going to be a good year. But I get the sense the last couple of weeks people are beginning to let go of those inhibitions a little bit, and they're starting to believe that maybe this team could do something.
I don't think it's a small thing that Cal said this after the last game.
Can I just tell the fans how much I appreciate what you did for this team today? And I've talked about this team's resilience to just keep playing, to keep fighting, to lose a game and another game. But you know who else has to have resilience? You all. You have to have resilience, and you've stuck with this team to come here and do this today. We needed that edge.
I felt that last night.
I'm always struck by the difference. If you pay if all you pay attention to, social media, talk radio, whatever, the difference in those people and the 19,000 that go to the arena and are actually there and are, invested emotionally into everything that goes on, there's always a difference in those two groups of people. Even this season when you'd listen to this show or get on Twitter or whatever, and you think, my God, the sky's falling. There were still good crowds, and there were still a lot of believers, and sometimes they get drowned out. And I think, right now, they're the ones that have the voice because, Arkansas has won 2 straight, and there's the belief they can win more.
Hogs are up to 6 conference wins. They're 6-9. They win in overtime, 86-81 against Texas last night, led by as many as 14.
Yeah.
It's another big thing. Like when you give up a lead, when a team comes back and they tie it and you go to overtime and the other team has the momentum, they got it back and they won the game. And that finding a way to win was difficult, but they did it.
Here's the thing that we have to understand is that the teams Arkansas is playing right now, the exception is going to be South Carolina, they are playing just as desperate as Arkansas is and maybe more so. Texas is a proud program. Now, they got some work to do if they're really going to be a contender in basketball. They got a lot of work to do. But that's a proud program. That's a program of Kevin Durant, TJ Ford. We were talking about LaMarcus Aldridge earlier. They've had great players over the years. I'm not saying they're out because they lost last night. I don't believe that. But they played like a team whose season was on the line. And Vanderbilt's going to play that way Tuesday night. And Mississippi State's going to play that way. And I don't know, South Carolina just blew Texas off the floor, so they may be playing like they don't have anything to lose right now, and, let's just go play ball for a couple hours. So you got to realize those other teams are just as desperate as you are.
Clay commented that Roddy Terry, the Texas coach, looks like Gus, the chicken man.
He looks like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
He does.
Yeah.
It's the glasses.
I can't unsee that now.
I mean, he does. He looks like Gus Fring. Gus Fring's a bad man now.
Also, we got a text about Brent in Searcy. Seth and Roger said Brent kind of reminds him of Will Ferrell impersonating Harry Carey.
Oh, my God.
I will never unhear that now. That's a compliment. Charlie in Camden. Hey, Charlie, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. Yeah, man, what a – I don't know if it's – guys, these 8 o'clock games, I'm only 32, but I feel like I'm too old for this. Like, during the week, I feel like I'm almost ready to go to sleep. But that game last night had me on edge. I tell you, you guys were talking about Trey Johnson. I want to give a big shout-out to the kid because he is special. I mean, not only did the whole team for Texas, like you said, Chuck, I mean, they're battling like we are, right, to get in. But that kid, didn't he do that earlier in the year against A&M? Like, he just kind of willed them to a win. I mean, that kid right there, we talk about Cooper Flagg. I know he's probably the guy that's going to go number 1. But whoever gets that kid, I don't know about you guys. What you guys think? I think this guy could be special at the next one.
No, he's a lottery pick. He's a lottery pick.
And you know what's crazy about him, too? As great as he is at scoring and things like that, he's not a bad passer either. He finds guys, and they look like they don't – I mean, I guess they're afraid to mess up or don't know what they're doing, but he finds guys and makes the right decisions. And, yeah, man, I'm like you guys. I didn't want him to have the ball at any point in certain situations. Like, I was like, oh, God, he's got the ball again. Every time I saw it, and I just put my head down.
No, you got to respect talent.
Because he's going to find a way to do what?
You got to respect talent, yeah. No, I mean, we were all thinking the same thing. When Chuck and I commented earlier, when finally somebody else took a shot, we were like, thank goodness.
There was a play, and I don't recall exactly the time. It was down the stretch. Kaluma had the ball out high, and Johnson comes by, and it was an obvious dribble handoff situation. And he faked the dribble handoff, turned, went to the rim, missed the shot. And at that point, I'm thinking, I sure am glad he didn't hand that ball to Trey Johnson because he was coming off a ball screen there, and he'd have put up a 3 from the spot on the floor where he hadn't missed all night. So I thought down the stretch, Texas made a few plays here and there that kind of left you scratching your head. And, again, I mean, it sounds simplistic, but Trey Johnson should have had the ball more for them at the end, but I'm glad he didn't.
Well, and you said, Texas did make mistakes, but they play defense.
Oh, they did.
They play defense with fouling. They can't hardly play defense without fouling.
They're worst in the SEC at sending teams to the free throw line.
As many times as they sent Arkansas last night, 31, that's 14 fewer times than they sent South Carolina to the line last Saturday.
That's crazy.
So, South Carolina should have 45 free throws. So, It's not like Texas has not had games where the other team shot a lot more free throws than they have. Now it happens on the road. It's not coincidence both those games were road games. But when you go on the road and you play defense and you reach and do a lot of the things they did, you're going to get called.
You know, some of that, too, I was thinking, people will ask, how do you let a guy score 39? I don't care how good he is. You got to stop
Well, you don't let him.
Well, I mean, but, you know, I get it. People say you got to do something. You got to foul him hard. You know, you got to whatever. When you're in a situation like Texas and Trey Johnson was in last night, he had nothing to lose. Like, he's coming down, and he's making shots. But if the game is tied the whole time, you know, it's a little bit different scenario. Arkansas did a good job early of kind of creating some separation. And then he kind of played free and with nothing to lose. And when you're doing that, sometimes shots go in a little bit at a little bit higher rate. I thought Arkansas, I continue to think, defensively, this team is just really good. Like, when you get a mismatch, there's very few moments with a mismatch with this team where you're like, oh, crap. I mean, you can get anybody switched on him, and I'm not saying it's not a mismatch and he's not going to score, but like there's not a lot of bad matchups for Arkansas when they get switched into situations, man on man, like a switch on a screen.
You know, Cal said something on his radio show the other night that kind of, at first just kind of blew by me, but I thought about it last night. He said, you know, we're okay with you blowing by the guy. You know, we got protection back there at the back. Don't commit the foul. I think he was maybe speaking about Billy in that context. But the point being, when you've got Adu and you know, Big Z's playing physical now. He's not getting pushed around. And when you've got those guys on the back, and obviously Brazile last night, you don't have to block a shot to necessarily alter the shot. And that's happening a lot right now. And that's part of defense too. And sometimes you know, you're trying to get guys to a certain part of the floor. As a defender, you're trying to force a guy to a certain spot in the floor. And Arkansas has been really good with their help.
Speaking of help, I want to say something real quick before we go to break, and then we'll come back and take more calls. I've never seen anybody that helps more people in the service industry and the restaurant industry than Carrie Wright at Herman's.
I agree with that.
Carrie is 50 today.
Really? Well, I hope she has a great day.
Happy birthday to Carrie. Now, I just want to tell you something about Carrie. Carrie makes everyone feel like that they can ask her for anything. Like, hey, it's Friday night. It's 6 o'clock. Can I get 10 people in? Like, who would ask a ridiculous question like that at Herman's?
Well, you're calling a friend.
Well, she's made people feel like that. And you know what? She takes care of everyone. And so Nick was texting me, hey, it's Carrie's birthday. Nobody's having a bigger time with this win than Nick and Carrie Wright, I promise you. And they'll be calling the Hogs, you know, before the next game at Herman's. But happy birthday to Carrie, the world's greatest. And it's your fault, Carrie, that you make everybody think that they can call you and say, hey, man, can you get me like maybe 6 for like, you know, 7 on Friday night or 6 before a 7 o'clock game? But that's because of who they are, and the service at Herman's is unmatched.
Did Nick and
the atmosphere unmatched.
Did Nick and Carrie make Fayetteville better or what?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean,
what an amenity.
every day.
What an amenity to our area and our state. What a destination location. So happy birthday to Carrie. If you work today, that's your fault. But I know you will, because that's who you are. Back in a minute on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show. If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Bolding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Pascal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopascal.com today to schedule your service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge. So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Matching down payments up to $1,500 at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Tons of things going on, but when you can double your down payment and maximize your tax refund right now, this is the time to buy at Harry Robinson.
Yes, and you know, Tommy, I mean, this matching down payments, it helps you in so many ways. If you've got a little bit of negative equity, it eliminates all that negative equity. If you're worried about your interest rate, it's going to buy you just a little bit less of an interest rate. It helps you in so many ways. And not only that, you know, we're discounting these remaining 24 F-150s up to $13,000 off. So if we match your down payment and do $13,000 off, you're talking about $16,000 in savings on a new F-150.
These deals won't last forever, only through the end of the month.
Yes, it's only until the end of the month. It's Ford Truck Month. So come and see us at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford.
1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw and online at harryrobinson.com.
Are you using Facebook as your website? Here are 3 reasons why that's a bad idea. 1, not everyone has it, which means you're missing out on customers. 2, you're not in control, Facebook is. You can't customize the look or fully brand your page. 3, unless you pay for ads, your page isn't getting seen. Let the Modular Orange team help you own your space online with a fully custom website that's only $95 per month. Go to modularorange.com to find out how. That's modularorange.com.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
Pitchers look pretty good. Getting quite a few strikeouts over the weekend. Good to see Kendall Diggs back in there.
I'm a patient there, and you can be too. 3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I was really dorky. As I'm sure it's a
Is
shock
that-
for you guys to
is
realize.
that right?
Oh, I was a total dork.
What a great story.
No, now I'm an older dork.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Sterling's in Center Ridge. Good morning, Sterling. The Hogs win. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, Bo. And guys, y'all have been dead on everything you talked about today. The team, the scrappy team, I never thought I'd be saying this about a Calipari team. You know, we think of some lottery picks and first round draft picks and 5-star McDonald All-Americans. And this team not only have those guys like Boogie Flynn, but this team is scrappy. And I love how they played defense last night. And anybody says, how do you let a guy score 39 points? Have never really played that. They never really played big. I ain't gonna say big time athletics, but they ain't never been played a lot of competitive sports. Because when a guy gets rolling, hey, he's hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when a guy's that talented and he gets rolling like that,
He's in the zone.
I mean, the only thing you can do is try to try to get the ball out of his hands, and then you give him up layups if you concentrate on him too much. And I think Arkansas did it perfectly, especially in the overtime. They've been about 3 trips where he didn't take the shot.
Yeah.
And a couple of trips he didn't touch it. Once he got rid of it, he never got it back. So I know he had 39 freshman record and a great, memorable performance, and one of the best performances I've ever seen in Bud Walton. Jody Meeks come to mind.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought of. I thought of Jody Meeks' game
in there, but I think Arkansas did magnificent. I wish we would have hit the free throw at the end of regulation, but hey, it is what it is. They won the game. This team is looking good for the tournament. I ain't gonna say we're in right now, but I think we're in a lot better spot than we were a couple of weeks ago. And I love the crowd. I've been down on the crowd. I've been down on the fans. But these last couple of home games, it's Bud Walton. It's Bud Walton magic, and I'm glad Calipari finally got to see it. Guys, y'all have a great rest
Thank
of
you,
the day.
Sterling.
Always great to hear from you. When you have hope, and the fans did in Bud Walton Arena last night, you can feel it, and it feels different in there. And I want to go back, Chuck, to when Arkansas started conference play, 0-5?
Mm-hmm.
And they won the first game, and Cal was going on, his show and talking to the media or whatever, and he's like, "We didn't know we're just going to win a game." Like, people are wondering, we were all wondering.
Well, when Boogie went out,
is this going to be an epically awful season, like historically bad? And I want you to just think about that. And for all the people that had all the things to say, starting in Lexington, about Cal. Look, I'm not trying to just blow smoke and pat them on the back we're unnecessarily. But who's done a better coaching job this year?
You're right.
In the SEC than John Calipari?
Think about, and we talked about this at the end of the broadcast last night, think about Thero and Boogie Fland, your top 2 scorers, not playing last night. Arkansas going into the game last night had scored 2,044 points over the course of the season. Those two had contributed 677 of that. That's a third of your scoring. Just to give.
Slow down. Say that again.
Just to give you.
Say that again.
Right.
I heard you say that on the post game last night, and I couldn't believe it.
The top 2 scorers, Thero and Boogie Fland. And Boogie hadn't played in 10 games. That's a third of the points the team has scored this year.
And that's Boogie not playing 10 games.
Right. Neither one of them scored last night. And just to give you an idea, when people say, they're better off without Boogie Fland, Boogie has 103 assists. Wagner had 5 last night to get him to 99. And Boogie hadn't played in 10 games. He still leads the team in assists by 4 total assists, and he hadn't played since the 5th conference game. So, again, I want to reiterate, we're sitting here talking about how tired we are. We sat and watched. Yeah. Some guy's going to go to work today. Oh, man, I'm exhausted, man. I busted my butt sitting on that recliner last night. And, 7 guys played 45 minutes. And that's a major college basketball team that you're playing with scholarship athletes and NIL guys. First-round lottery pick from the NBA. You found a way to win the game. Wasn't pretty. But, I thought what Sterling said a minute ago, just from the outside looking in, I don't recall, the inner workings of all Cal's teams at Kentucky, but there were a lot of thoroughbreds. This team's got thoroughbreds too, but the sum's greater than the parts. And you don't always get that on a team, even if you're loaded with talent. The sum doesn't always turn out to be greater than the parts, and that's what's going on right now.
If you don't realize or see Cal's ability to connect with his players, you're not paying attention, or you just haven't looked at it.
Staff's good too.
Yeah, 100%, and you're right, and they don't get enough credit. In fact, they haven't gotten credit, and they've been talked about and laughed at. Again, from
just
Lexington
the Kentucky
on down.
People. Just the Kentucky
right, where those guys don't do anything. I mean, hold on, we got to turn Bart.
Yeah, we got to turn Bart.
I know he got a lot of airtime last night, and Edward's maybe slightly jealous.
Bart's
but we'll get. No,
is there a rift over there on that side of the room?
You're sick of it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the Taylor.
I'm sabotaging him.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. Hey, the thing I like about Edward is he'll just tell you the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Bart.
You're a Mark.
I guess I'll put his
now,
video
Bob.
on the
Before
screen
we
now.
continue raving about the job and rightfully so. You
No,
wanted to
I was
interject.
just going to say Kentucky fans have gotten awfully quiet the past couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, I mean, look. I don't know. I think I mean this.
You waited around to throw that in.
Yeah, that was what that was.
I'm turning the mic back down.
I'm joking.
Right. Thank you, Edward. You should have left it off. But hey, listen. No, Bart, you're right. You're right. But look, I'm going to say this. We all contribute to the world we live in. We all contribute to the world we live in. Sometimes Hog fans get mad when we say something like that around here. Oh, you're saying it's my fault. No, what I'm saying is you play a role. You play a part. And if you're Kentucky and you act spoiled and you treat Cal and you treat everybody else like that, you treat the players like that, and nothing's good enough, I mean, what's human nature? Does it make you want to go harder? Does it make you want to play for them? Does it make you want to, get them excited? I'm not saying you tank or anything like that, but it just doesn't give you the same energy. And what Cal needed, and honestly, I guess Kentucky too, what they needed was just a change. They all needed needed different air. He says a different voice. They needed different air to breathe. Now, I want to think about this. Arkansas, what was everybody saying about them at the beginning of the year? They went out and got the most expensive roster in the country, which is not true. Now, when it comes to getting all new players, that may be true. But if you think Auburn didn't pay a crap ton of money to keep the players they have, just like Ohio State paid a crap ton of money to keep the players they had in football, and that's why they won. But you went out and got all these new players, and everybody said, oh, man, they're the richest roster in college basketball. How hard is it to pay college players that much money and keep them engaged after they go 0-5 to start conference play and have them play as hard as they continue to play no matter what the adversity is? I would submit to you that's pretty difficult. And I see what I've seen again, and I'll just land the plane with this, Chuck, it's been an amazing job, regardless of the outcome the rest of the way of this season. A phenomenal job by that staff. Phenomenal.
I think so too. And I'm going to challenge the notion that Kentucky needed a change. What's Kentucky's conference record right now, Bart? What are they?
They are 8-7.
All right,
they
finished
19-9 overall.
They finished 13-5 in the league last year.
Yeah, they will not get to that this year.
But they needed a change. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
they needed an attitude adjustment.
Yeah. I mean, we need something different now.
Yeah.
We got to turn the page. We're not as good as we need to be.
Kentucky basketball fans think they are God's gift to the sport. They think they invented the sport right there in Lexington.
I knew that going.
They
Tell me more about
have such a high opinion of themselves when in reality, when you look at their program stacked up against other programs in college basketball, say, I don't know, since 1970, 1980, they've won 3 titles.
Okay, now you got
which
me
is
going.
great.
Let me say, when Cal got there, they needed a makeover.
Yeah.
He made them all look better, feel better about themselves. They got the sweat in them edge. They got their tee in. They got their shots. They got their makeup on. They started forgot that somebody made them feel that way, that somebody had actually restored pride to their program.
They were the best program.
They're gonna have a great time with this on KSR today.
Yeah,
Send it to them.
They were.
Give them
they
something
were
to talk about.
They were the best program in college basketball in the 1930s and 40s when Adolph Rupp was there. God. What? Seriously.
Hey, listen.
Seriously.
The only time they were any good was when Adolph Rupp was there.
They were the best program in college basketball in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. That was a long time ago. Ago.
All right.
They're a blue blood. They are a great program, but they have not been the best program.
I was just pointing out they're
basketball.
not as good this year as they were last year. That's all I'm pointing out.
I mean,
I didn't go all the way back to
this is
pre-World War II.
This is a typical my turn to respond to you jackwagons in Lexington.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Kiss it right here. Yeah, that's what this is.
That's right. I'm tired of hearing from them.
That's no situation room over there.
Hey, guess what? Kentucky lost to Arkansas this year.
Yeah.
Hey, Bart's a TV
By the way,
star
did you
now.
see me on TV
Yeah,
last
Bart's
night?
a TV star now.
Let me tell you, Kentucky
let me
fans.
tell you people something.
Yeah, let me tell you about the airtime I got last night.
That's great.
How do you like
That's
me now? How do you like Cal now, huh? Turn around and look at this right here.
Turn it over to Bart.
It's a full moon tonight, baby.
Hey, let me tell you about Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric before we go to a break. I know
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I got my folder out right here. Tax season's here. Seriously, if you got an HVAC system and you need something fixed, you can be comfortable now. You can pay later. You're the one that held up the sign, said Pascal.
I did.
Not me.
I did.
It's the smart way to stay comfortable.
And then right after he did that, he told Kentucky fans to kiss his bleep.
I know. And I'm sitting over, I got to clean that up.
Pascal's great.
You can log on to gopascal.com. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely you can.
That's right.
And you can pay now or save now and pay
Enjoy
later.
your comfort now, pay later.
That's how it is. 7:33 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Woo!
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about Phil's...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Brady Slavens sparks this team to Omaha, and the roadshow continues for the Arkansas Razorbacks. A 4-3 win, come from behind style in the 9th inning. The Razorbacks dogpiling on the field here in Chapel Hill with their 11th trip to the College World Series, and you can call them the Omahas.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. I'm with Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Ethan, what promotion do we have going on?
We're putting on a 5K challenge. If you sign up during the month of February and ride at least 5,000 or more miles by September 27th, you'll win a gift card and a t-shirt. Riders who accumulate at least 5,000 miles and complete 3 check-ins will earn a $75 Wheeler Power Sports gift card. Fuel up, sign up, and hit the road. See our Facebook page for full details.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like me.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We just went through our first Sunday since the summer without football. Everything was so strange yesterday. I know this is the time of year when you get things done on Sundays. Let me just state for the record, I don't like getting things done on Sunday. I like laying around on Sunday. It's a day of rest. It's biblical.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I just appreciate the fact that you stated it for the record.
Well, I just, wanted to make sure everyone understood. I'm not one of these let's get it done on Sunday guys.
Trevin Brazil, 12 points. Carter Knox, 12 points. Zvonimir Ivisic, 18 points. John L. Davis, 14. DJ Wagner, 16. Hey, can I say something about DJ?
Please do.
Okay. What a fine young man. Didn't play his best game last night. There were times he was great. There were times he wasn't. But, down the stretch, if you watch, he's a coach on the floor.
I thought he was at the end last night.
Remember when we were wondering who's going to be the leader of this team? And you got a bunch of alphas, but they're all, to some point differential to their teammates. I feel like that's been an issue at times because guys that are used to just taking over or when in a moment, this team actually is unselfish. And sometimes to a fault, and learning when the right time to go is and all that, when to lead. But I thought Wagner, everybody was looking at him. He's you talk about filling the shoes of Boogie, and again, I don't think they're better off with Boogie for all the reasons Chuck mentioned earlier. But he has stepped into that role and made a huge difference with this team. And sometimes it doesn't always show up in the stat sheet. But that guy's the leader on this team right now. At least that's what it looks like.
I've felt all season long that for Arkansas to be as good as they could be, however good that is, DJ's got to be the leader. He's been really good in the second half the last couple of games. He was really good in the second half against Mizzou. And I know he had 5 turnovers last night, but he also had 5 assists, and he had 16 points. And down the stretch, as you say, he was a point guard. He played like a good point guard. And I think he hit 2 threes last night, and so I think DJ's a good player. I think he's a heady player, and again, I think for this team to be as good as they can be, he's got to be the one.
Chuck, a lot of Hoosier clips on social media.
I know
today from the movie. Gene Hackman.
I know,
and his wife, Gene Hackman, 95. His wife of 63, and his dog all found deceased in their New Mexico home.
Happened yesterday, and I just read about it this morning early.
Yeah, I was just
before I came in, and I don't know. There's an investigation going on, obviously.
The early returns on the investigation from the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department says there are no signs of foul play. Yeah. But I
don't know.
It's odd when you see something like that, and more so, it's a lot of great memories from Gene Hackman movies.
Well,
we just think about what a career.
Well, how many times yesterday, Bart and I were talking about this earlier, did Razorback fans, when they were talking about 7 guys playing, quote that line from Hoosiers, my team's on the floor.
Yeah.
And even Cal last night in the pregame said, he was joking. He said, hey, I worked on my 2-2 zone. In the event we're down to 4. And Z and I, Matt and I were talking there at the table, and we both quoted Gene Hackman. And I didn't know that had happened then. I don't know that, the rest of the world did either. But, yeah, it's a sad – Gene Hackman's is a legend as it gets.
Yeah. That's
in the acting world.
Well, that's one of those sports movies that's just iconic. Always will be. 877-377-6963. Guys, we talk about it all the time. Today's a good day to talk about I'm tired. I don't have the energy. Sleep's really important, and that's a big factor for any of us when it comes to how we feel. But there may be more to it than that for you, and I invite you to take the Sweatinum Edge Challenge, which is just log on to SweatinumCosmetic.com, click on the Sweatinum Edge, get an appointment set up, and get evaluated. If you're not feeling great, you don't have the energy you wish you had, there could be a solution, and pounding 4 energy drinks is probably not it. You can feel better, which will make you live better. SweatinumCosmetic.com. Check out the Sweatinum Edge. I've done it. It's been a game changer for me. I don't mind telling you, game changer. I was a 2 energy drink a day guy. I barely have one now a month. It's just not even part of the plan anymore. The Sweatinum Edge. It's where it's at. You can look and feel better. SweatinumCosmetic.com. Log on and get the free evaluation today. 7:43 on the Chuck and Bo Show, celebrating a huge Arkansas win. Back in a minute.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. Even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking. Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks,
it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about? Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time. It's baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need. Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help. Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Go Hogs.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about. A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I'm glad you brought that up, Chuck, because fortunately...
You upchucked it.
It just came out.
How did you?
Came up.
Well, here, another segment with Upchuck Chuck.
By the way, that's a clever retort. That Upchuck, I've never heard that.
Tell you what, yeah, well, it's the first time since we started this show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I bet the coffee tastes better at Blakeman's this morning. The new cafe.
Mine tastes better right
Onyx
here.
Coffee they have at Blakeman's. You can go in there and get you a latte now. Or if you so desire, a celebratory Prosecco. Or maybe you just want to buy a watch after winning the game, like a game day watch that they have there. Man, they got some great stuff. They got private rooms if you want to try on different things, getting ready for a big occasion. They'll walk you through the whole thing. That facility is remarkable. It's just like, it's a big city feel, man, in Rogers, Arkansas. The place to go for diamonds or anything else. But the experience and the feel that you walk in there when you go to Blakeman's is unparalleled. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, here to help you celebrate every moment, including the one last night. Dang, that was a good win.
That was fun.
Dang, that feels good.
It was great. So did you
Dang
bring
it.
watches in for everyone today?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
what happened?
Yeah, well, Bart is sitting in a very good spot. He's sitting in a very good spot. What was the promise I made again?
If
I made a Blakeman's promise that
yeah,
it's going to be a good one.
I said Arkansas would make the NCAA tournament, and you said if you're right about that, then
No,
You're gonna buy your watch.
That's not what happened.
That's
You
exactly
said if
what
they win
happened.
3 of their next 5, they will make, and that was 2 wins ago.
Well, yeah.
So all they got to do is win one more, and you got to watch.
Right, well, then it has to hold up that they make the tournament.
So if they win Saturday, you could just go ahead and buy that thing.
Right.
While you're
Well,
up
I've
there.
got yeah.
You just buy it while
Yeah.
you're there.
I've got thoughts on this.
Yeah, I know you do.
We may just have to go up there, like when they punch their ticket. We may just have to go up there and do the show there. Around the coffee bar with macaroons.
Bart can go.
Macaroons. Oh.
Bart can go into one of those private rooms you were talking about and model that watch and see the sparkle
Yeah.
and
Right.
You know,
You and I could sit out there and have a cup of coffee.
Exactly.
Eat a macaroon.
maybe a prosecco.
Bart, how did it go
whatever.
back there?
But
we
well,
just
Bart's a television star now. Let's just be honest.
Stop.
Oh no!
No,
Bart,
see,
stop!
you know
stop!
what?
I'm not a TV star.
This is.
But
let me just tell you, Bart. Last night was just the beginning.
Oh.
This is not over. It was just the beginning. You're going to be at Blakeman's.
You're going to pop
go
up in
around town.
all sorts of
You're
places.
going to go around town. Weichert called earlier. They want to know if they can stick you on all their yard signs.
I think that's a lie.
Yeah,
but-
turning houses into homes since 1978, and
seen
this
on the
guy
Chuck
in your
and Bo
front
show.
yard, right?
Yeah.
I think that would scare off potential home buyers.
Well, I mean, it's not like you're looking in the window. You're facing the street. It's fine. It's okay. And then we're going to get you at Blakeman's in the coffee shop. We've already got a request for you to be at Bogle Park for the next women's softball game. Yeah. By the way, did you see them honor the women's softball team last night?
I did.
They gave them all shirts to throw out.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those girls
They're
were throwing it in the upper deck.
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
They were in the upper. I mean, that's what. If you're a fan in the upper deck, you want the softball team.
Softball or baseball.
Catch one of
team,
those
yeah.
shirts. Yeah. I mean, they got some cannons. All right, Cecil in Fort Smith. Good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show, Cecil.
Hog Delight, baby.
Hog Delight.
Oh, yeah.
Attaboy,
Pour a little of that in
Cecil.
your coffee.
Yeah, man. Hey, it was a great game. I enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed it. The atmosphere was awesome, man. It was like an NBA game. I've been to a lot of NBA games, man, and I tell you, the only thing they were missing was like the organ that they play here, like in New York or something. But man, I tell you, I'm a big Z fan. Actually, I like all the guys, but I really like Big Z. Big Z got the back door a couple of times and put it up and dunked it, and he's getting a lot better, man. And just everybody just stick together and come back next year. I think we'll be like really, really box office.
That's a question.
We only got one more game left. I'm gonna hate it. I hate the last game because that's it for the season. But I'll definitely be there. You know, I really enjoy going to the game.
It's a morning game.
Man, the people was nice, man, and everything. Man, I looked down there and saw Chuck standing up at the end. I'm like, Chuck tired of sitting down.
Well, no, I couldn't see because everyone like stands right there, and players now when they go in the game don't crouch down like they did back in the good old days. So I got to get up and look around them.
What it really is
Believe
every
me,
once in a while he wants to be seen too.
No, it wasn't anything like that. It's not like I'm thinking, man, I got to get up out of my chair. I couldn't see.
Yeah, and I seen. I looked up on the screen and I seen Bart.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call those things, but I just made one for a birthday. It was about 5'9". But I looked up at the screen. I said, man, that's Bart.
Yeah. What'd you
Was that
think?
him?
It
was Bart. It was the Bart cutout. What'd you think when you saw it?
I just flipped out because I told Doug, I said, Doug.
A lot of people did. A lot of people did.
Cecil's got so many questions.
Yeah.
He's like, is that Bart? And then we're like, yeah. And he's like, why?
Well, no, we just did it as, something kind of fun that we thought that people should get to know the same Bart we know. And we just did it to amuse ourselves, kind of like this show.
Right. I'm gonna have to make y'all something. Make
Okay.
a whole crew of y'all.
Babe, come on with it.
Something to make a whole crew of y'all. That'd
Hey.
be cool. Put it in the studio or something.
Let's go. Come on, Cecil. Appreciate the call. Thanks for
man.
listening.
Good man,
Enjoy
Cecil.
it.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
it. Yep.
See y'all at the Mississippi State game.
Yes, sir. Enjoy the day.
I don't think Cecil's sold yet on the idea of a Bart
Well,
cutout.
I mean, the idea kind of was to make people go, who?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah.
And
And that was asked a lot.
Just make you think about
I heard that a lot last night.
Bart, making it on TV.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
As we wrap up the 10th annual Miracles and Magic Mediathon benefiting Arkansas Children's Northwest, we want to send a huge thank you to our incredible sponsors, Crabtree RV, Slotsky's, Heartland Honda, Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and Ozarks Electric Cooperative. Because of your partnership, children right here at home will be better today and healthier tomorrow. And to our amazing listeners, your donations make miracles happen. Thank you for bringing hope, healing, and smiles to so many lives. This wouldn't be possible without you. Together, we're making a difference. Thank you.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny, cooler. Our highs this afternoon in the low to mid 60s. We're nice and clear tonight, overnight low near 40. Friday, right back to sunshine, upper 60s. And then Saturday, a bounty of sunshine. Highs on Saturday, upper 50s to lower 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
Hey, Ty Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage, my mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations, over 300 five-star reviews.
Yeah, Ty, we pride ourselves on delivering a five-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be a smart aleck like that.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Agent Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith. March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC. Battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
How often do you go into Facebook and just check the people that have requested to be your friend?
A couple of times an hour. Anytime I need a boost. A lot of people from foreign countries. It's amazing how that happens. You know, we have no common friends. No mutual friends at all.
Yeah.
And they're, for some reason, anxious to connect with me. Sometimes they send me messages. Now, my bank account's been drained.
Yeah.
But other than that,
That's why
I have a lot of internet
So
friends.
now we know why you're doing the show.
Yeah, that's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I did not realize that Bart was in the ESPN Open last night. I thought they just panned to the cutout during the course of the game.
No.
But he was actually part of the Open, which meant that no one had to wait
Peyton
to
did
see
a great
the cutout.
job.
He really did.
Peyton Grunder did
Perfect
a great
placement.
job. It was
Perfect
wonderful.
placement.
And he handled it just right, and he had it like an upside-down stuffed animal longhorn that had been hog-tied.
That's a young man that's
And was
going
holding out
places
with
in
one
this
hand.
world.
Yeah, telling me. Like he listen, Bart, I just want you to know this is the beginning, and we killed it for you last night. Now, what are you going to do about it?
Now it's on you to follow up.
Yeah.
Now you've been, you're coast to coast, man.
You get your profile pic updated.
That's right. How many new friend requests do you have?
0, and that's fine.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on.
Stop it.
Give me a break.
Stop it. Well, it was a success, and we will announce the $100 gift card winner probably tomorrow. We didn't.
Yeah.
We all got up late today.
Yeah.
But there are pictures to choose from. People took in their home, on television of Bart, at the game with Bart. It was everywhere. It was on the big screen.
You made
Bart's
the big
cutout
screen. That was awesome.
Multiple times.
I was getting text messages from people I haven't heard from in years, and they were all along the lines of well, they all used a profanity, but it was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
I'll tell you.
This
get on
is what
TV,
it's come to.
You hear from people when you get on TV. You hear from people you haven't heard from in years. As long as it's not a mugshot.
Yeah, well, even then you might still.
They tend not to call you on that one.
I think it was a great moment, though. It's a great night to
It was
be
a
a
great
Razorback.
moment in Razorback history.
Great
really.
game, and how could it not be?
What were
with
you
Bart
thinking
on the Open?
when it went to overtime, Bart? Were you thinking it was your fault?
The first thing that popped in my head was these guys better win this damn game.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not taking the blame for this.
You're 1-0. You're 1-0. Congratulations.
And now every team within 100 miles wants your cutout at the game. Everyone does.
86-81, the Hogs win in overtime. By the way, it's going to get up to, let's see.
Low 60s?
Today, throughout the state of Arkansas, 69 in Russellville for a high, 64 in Harrison, 65 in Fayetteville, 68 in Monticello.
60s.
66 in Brinkley, right there. I just went outside just to get away from you guys for a minute, breath of fresh air.
Of course.
And,
of course.
boy, it's nice. I mean, it's 40, but the sun's out, and it's just the crisp air of
The
victory.
crisp spring day.
It's when you walk out, like if I wasn't here with you guys right now, I would go for a walk. And I would breathe.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I would.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And I would just breathe in the fresh air that only comes after sweeping Texas.
That is nice, beating Texas twice in the year.
I thought last night,
beautiful thing.
I thought the appreciation and the understanding of the old, we'll call it the old Texas rivalry, was very present in Bud Walton. starting with the towels, the down horn sign towels that they handed out.
You know, it was the coaching matchups that made those games so good. You know, Eddie Sutton and Abe Lemons, and then Tom Penders and Coach Richardson.
Tom Penders.
And John Calipari, Rodney Terry. Doesn't have quite the same ring to it, but it was a hell of a game. I mean, it really was. It was a great game. Give Texas
Gus,
credit.
the chicken man from Breaking Bad versus
Fring.
the last Corleone.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's pretty good.
Gustavo Fring.
That's pretty
on the
good.
bench.
Yeah, Gustavo and the last Corleone went at it last night.
Who do you think won?
The last Corleone.
Wow.
That's what John Rothstein calls Cal.
Is it really?
Yeah, the
I didn't
last
know
Corleone. Yeah, he gives all these coaches nicknames.
That's great.
Like Musselman's the importer.
Yeah,
The
I knew he
importer.
called him the importer.
Yeah, and Cal's the last Corleone. What a job for Cal. What a job for his staff, the team. What those guys, man, they just showed up, and it was remarkable. Yet again, and by the way, I'm not surprised. At this point, this is another thing we could talk about. We've wondered what kind of team this was. Like when they were going to show up, when they were going to play a certain way. You know, this guy comes in with all these accolades. Where's it been? All these types of conversations have gone on. Can we now say this team has an identity? They fight. They walk towards the barking dog of adversity.
You know, they kind of went into grind mode in the second half last night. When you're playing 7 guys, sometimes you have to do that during the course of a game. And you know, it was interesting to watch how the stats in the first half, the free throws, the made threes, you know, when you looked at that at halftime, it's pretty easy to see why Arkansas led the game. And then in the second half, I know Arkansas shot some free throws down the stretch, but Texas, I think, shot more free throws in the second half than Arkansas, made more three-pointers than Arkansas in the second half, kind of like the Razorbacks did in the first half to them. And, you know, hence the overtime. But 17 points in overtime. Third most Arkansas had ever scored in overtime. They scored 17 in the Strolin with Nolan game down there at the Drum years ago. So just fun to beat Texas.
Those are good stats.
Fun to beat Texas.
Well, we talked about success is when opportunity meets preparation. So somebody else had to step up. We really thought it'd be multitude of guys, and it was.
Yeah, it was. That's Kenny Payne handling the post-game news conference after the game.
I've been really impressed with the crowd. I think that from the Missouri game, you heard Coach Gates talk about the energy in the building and how it propelled us as a team. I would say the same thing tonight. You know, they were fighting with us. That's what we need. We need, and sometimes fans don't really understand the importance it is to have them in there being loud and screaming and fighting with us. But we need them. And they've been great this whole year.
We talked about Adu yesterday. How about those 2 free throws he hit on the flagrant foul? I never saw the replay. They didn't show it in the building.
He grabbed his jersey.
Grabbed his jersey.
Yeah.
I honestly, I kind of felt it was a weak flagrant call.
But here's the thing. If you're going to call it, it's got to be intentional.
Right. Yeah.
Like, don't call it at all, or you have to call it intentional.
It was
it's
an
on the other
intentional
end of the
foul.
floor.
It was certainly an intentional foul.
That's 2 shots on the ball. I don't care if you
Right.
call it flagrant one or intentional.
Right. Flagrant one's just the term.
But they're trying to put the worst free throw shooter on the floor on the line.
Right.
And so they're fouling 75
it was a
feet
foul
away from the ball.
Regardless, it was a foul away from the ball.
Away from the ball. It was on the other end of the floor.
Right.
Like
It was
the
a foul away
opposite
from the
free
ball,
throw
which
line.
is,
Well, and he didn't make it look good. That's the. I mean, he didn't make it look good.
Okay, so now you got this guy in this position, Adu. Everybody's watching, and you're having a trouble pulling away. You've given up a 14-point lead in the second half. Now you're in overtime. You got a chance to ice this thing. Oh, man, did he ever. This guy, and look, he's human too. Like, you think subconsciously the kind of year he's had, which is, I'm sure, not been the one he had in mind. And now you're in the spotlight with the game on the line, and you knock those 2 shots down?
You know, we talk about in football, they remember what you do in November. In basketball, it's late February, March. I mean, that's what it's all about. And Adu's playing well right now. A lot of them are. And I'll say it again for about the 50th time this morning. 7 guys played 45 minutes and beat Texas last night at Bud Walton Arena. Don't discount just the physical requirements to play 45 minutes with 7 men and win the game. That's hard to do.
I thought they did a great job with the rotations, too.
I thought that was very smart the way they
played the game.
You know, Knox ended up playing 40 minutes. Most he's played in a game this year, but he played 36 against Mizzou, and that's the most he played played so far this season. So he's coming on. Richmond played 21 minutes. That was the fewest minutes. Brazil played 39. And I think he played like 4 or 5 against Mizzou the other night.
Plus 13 in his performance.
Yeah.
He was minus 99 in all SEC games prior to last night.
What does that mean?
It means in his minutes on the court, with 200 and something minutes
if you add them all together,
Arkansas was outscored by 99 points in his time on the court.
And last
night was the best he's played all season, and was the first time in a long time I felt he looked like the Trevin Brazil of old.
Well,
and hats off to him, and credit to Cal and the coaching staff, because I think one thing they do really well is they show their guys that they believe in them, and they get them ready to step up in big moments. They believed in Nelly Davis and kept the faith in him, and he has rewarded them by playing some of his best basketball of the year as of late. Same thing with Trevin Brazil. I don't know that like a lot of people would have expected him to be in the starting lineup, but Cal and those guys, they believe in them, and they plant their trust in them throughout the course of the season.
Straight out of the Situation Room. Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, strong today. Coffee.
Well, I think he's exactly right. I think Bart's exactly right. Brazil was the one they had to start last night, though.
Yeah.
They had to start him in that spot. You couldn't start, you couldn't bring Adu in, for example, and start in Thero's spot. I mean, you just couldn't do that. It had to be Brazil.
Okay, well, that's another compliment to Brazil.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, he had the highest.
Everybody can play that spot at his size.
Right. He had the highest plus-minus on the floor last night. Now, that's kind of a misleading stat because I'll just give you an example. Trey Johnson was -5 last night, and he's the best player on the floor by far.
Selfish, that's why. I'm kidding.
I'm
joking.
Nobody had a plus for Texas.
I'm joking.
And
I hear you.
But, you know, Trevin played well. Trevin played his best game of the year.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to keep doing it because the season didn't end last night. They've had a great 2-game stretch. And now they got to go to South Carolina, who just ran Texas off the floor. And then you got to go play Vanderbilt, who may be certainly as hot as Arkansas right now. So, yeah, he was great last night, and he's got to do it some more.
Okay, we'll take calls when we come back, and I want to ask about something else, too. This idea, the narrative that Cal made a mistake when he decided he was only going to get 8 or 9 guys that could play. Did he really? Did he make a mistake? Are we sure about that? Let's talk about it when we come back. 877-377-6963. Tom Hart, who called the game, is going to join us a little bit later. The Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Bart, you've been strong today.
Burning.
Well,
he's riding the high from becoming a star last night.
They're always strong at Chevy of Fayetteville with outstanding service and a parts department with complimentary loaners and a waiting area with really good coffee, by the way. They're involved in the community, and they're excited the Razorbacks won last night just like you are. Chevy of Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas's #1 volume dealer. Back in a minute on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
As we wrap up the 10th annual Miracles and Magic Mediathon benefiting Arkansas Children's Northwest, we want to send a huge thank you to our incredible sponsors, Crabtree RV, Slotsky's, Heartland Honda, Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and Ozarks Electric Cooperative. Because of your partnership, children right here at home will be better today and healthier tomorrow. And to our amazing listeners, your donations make miracles happen. Thank you for bringing hope, healing, and smiles to so many lives. This wouldn't be possible without you. Together, we're making a difference. Thank you.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
After a while, you realize that there's certain people you just can't argue with. I mean, you just can't.
Well, I mean, we're all cut, like that.
We're all cut from that cloth.
The best part about an argument is when you're the smart one and whoever's on the other side is clearly not.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, back to the phones we go, and then we got a couple of scintillating points to make here.
Scintillating.
Nelson and Harrison, you are on the Chuck and Bo Show. It's 8-19, celebrating a win over Texas.
Guys.
What's up, Nelson?
Oh, I'm just celebrating. I'm just celebrating the fact that we got to beat Missouri and get to beat Texas. I mean, two of the teams that I really just despise. But guys, this is what I want to say about the whole game. I was proud of our players. I was proud of our fans. It was a proud moment for Razorback, the whole Razorback nation. And, guys, I'm with Bo. At the end of that game, it's hard to say that those officials wasn't trying to do everything they could do. I mean, when Jonas Adu's down there getting held, grabbed, basically everything but body slammed and tackles, and they won't call nothing. Then you go down to Texas at the end, and here we go. Oh, my God, they breathed on the guy the wrong way. Here we go, call a foul. But you know what, guys, with all that being said, whenever we got our chances to go to the foul line in that second half, which wasn't a lot, our guys were making the free throws, And sometimes they were having to wait what seemed like a minute and a half to get the ball to shoot it. It's like, what are you guys doing that we can't get the ball to our guys to shoot it? Just like whenever Bo was talking about with Jonas Aidoo. Jonas Aidoo stood on the free throw line by himself for a minute and a half or two. It's like, come on, guys.
You're right.
Yeah, well,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
It was not. I'm not saying the officials were out to get him. I'm saying the whistle wasn't favorable, and people won't understand this. I didn't watch the game because the foul shooting discrepancy was great, but that's Texas. They foul people. They put them at the line. They're the worst in the league in doing that. But in the second half, there was a time in the second half where Arkansas had 10 fouls and Texas had 3 or 4.
Yeah. Look, both sides at some points in the game.
One more thing.
All right, go ahead.
Hey,
go ahead.
Let it rip.
All right, guys. I'm kind of a nerd, so I watch the game there, and then I come back home and I watch it on the broadcast.
Holy cow.
And Tom Hart said there was 5 games this season that we've had the full complement of players, and that was our 5-game losing streak.
Yeah.
The rest of the time we've been without our full complement.
That's interesting.
So, and I want to tell you something else. One more thing. Anyone that thinks Hunter Yurachek ain't doing a good job for this university, you're fooling yourself, brothers. Thank you.
All right, Nelson.
There you go.
Thank you.
Nelson had things to say today.
Nelson was he had a full plate. That's for sure.
They
cleaned
it
up.
Like the whole season, they haven't. Starting with practice, they haven't had their team. Starting with preseason practice, they haven't had their team.
They're playing well right now. They believe in each other. It's cliche-ish, but they're playing for each other. It doesn't seem to matter to them who gets all the credit. It doesn't seem to matter to them who the leading scorer is that night. And again, I think the sum's greater than the parts right now. 7 guys played 45 minutes, and beat Texas
7
in overtime.
guys. Okay, we've heard this narrative about Cal. It's amazing. Like, big picture people are hard to find. In the moment, people are easy to find. But hopefully we're both. Hopefully here on this show we talk about the moment and we talk about the big picture at the same time. At least that's what we go for, because the big picture matters. But in the moment, people have talked throughout the season about what a mistake it was for Cal to take on this philosophy of going to get 8 or 9 guys that could actually play. Was it a mistake? Now you're down 2 of your best players, and the guys that you had show up and play last night were enough. Do you know what it's like when you get to the bottom third of your bench? When you go get like the 7 or 8, 9, 10 guys at the end of your bench, either they're unhappy all year, which isn't great for the team chemistry, or they're not good enough. And so it makes so much sense to have 7 or 8 guys or 9 guys that are all good enough. Then you've got to work your tail off to keep the guys who aren't getting the minutes engaged. But when they do get to play, they show up. And that was TB last night. But if you have too deep of a bench, you're probably playing guys last night to save everybody else in their minutes that maybe can't win that game for you, Chuck.
Well, you may be right. I mean, let's say, for example, just in a what-if situation, Boogie and Thero are still there. And you got into a situation last night where you got foul trouble and you got to go to your 10th guy. Is he going to be as good as Aidoo or Richmond coming off the bench? I don't think so. So, I mean, your point's well made. We'll never know.
They're playing.
Right.
Because
that's
the rotation.
Right. And you're playing them more for minutes than anything else. I get what you're saying. We'll never know. But whatever they're doing right now, they've circled the wagons and they're getting it done.
Can we at least say the idea that it was a laughable strategy it was dumb is dumb? That's a ridiculous take, in my opinion.
I've heard a lot of takes this year from people that I know don't know the game very well.
No kidding.
I do know that.
8:25. Not to talk down to anybody, but you know who you are. Back in a minute on the Chuck and Bo Show. I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody.
They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Deep three on the way, and it's good. It is over. Down goes Auburn. The number one team in the country is defeated, and they are rushing the court at Bud Walton Arena. They are rushing the floor at Bud Walton Arena. Don't dance on that hog now. Don't do that. No.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
It's the Salesman Showdown. Harry Robinson, Saddlesaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Saddlesaw. Troy, you and your team love to have fun. Y'all are having a little fun with each other this month. Little competitive juices flowing here at Harry Robinson.
Definitely. You know, I told the guys, I told the team, I wanted to see some energy. I wanted to throw something out there to see a little extra hustle from them. So, you know, this is the Salesman Showdown. They are competing to earn your business. First place prize wins a vacation, a gift card. We're giving away some big TVs, some big tool sets, some gift cards. So come down here and see us at Harry Robinson Saddlesaw Ford. You're really going to see the difference in your salesman right here. We want to earn your business.
And you've got aggressive with the pricing to make it happen.
Yes, you know, up to $13,000 off remaining 24 F-150s, up to $10,000 off remaining 24 Expeditions. And the big key thing, Tommy, here, we can't forget this, is we're going to match your down payment up to $1,500.
It's all going on. Harry Robinson, Saddlesaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Saddlesaw.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. How do people see what you've made over the years, Cecil?
Google or Yahoo it or Bing it. Jazzco Graphics Design, JAAZCO, Monday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And sometimes I'm here after. So if that open sign is on, I'm here. Y'all come on in. Jazzco Graphics. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about. A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Sure like the college kids, man. If the sun's out, it's 45 degrees, you got shorts on.
I'm all about that.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. I would prefer to never wear pants.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That's true. I mean, I don't have pants on this morning. I just went outside.
You have shorts on.
Yeah,
I feel
short pants.
It's
Why do we got to clarify?
I
Short
think it's
pants.
important.
Walking around without any
It's
clothes
important
on.
to clarify.
I don't wear pants. I don't like pants.
Hey, that's
I wear them when I have to. I wore them last night to the game. What a great! Listen, the environment, the crowd, the people, it was amazing. DJ Derek, I thought the atmosphere that could have lapsed at times as people are getting tired in the second half. There was never a dead moment in the game. What a great job from the game production. Everybody involved with that. Phenomenal job. I thought several games ago I was at a game and I just didn't feel like it was very connected and it wasn't very great. And, look, part of that's winning. Like, you have fans that are hopeful. The vibe's different. The attitude's different. But that was a very enjoyable experience last night. And as a fan, that's part of it. You want to win, but that feeling, listen, I'm not tired right now. Now, at 9 o'clock, about 9:05, when we go off the air, I may become tired.
It's not
But
time.
this is a great day. But it's so nice outside, by the way. That's another thing. Like, we're just counting our blessings.
They won a game.
Yeah.
They won a
Yeah, if
game.
you're negative,
Winning takes care
Go
of everything.
somewhere else. Yeah.
Winning takes
We're
care
just
of
standing here
everything.
counting our blessings, looking at the sunshine, smiling at the world today. Hey. And here's Bart live in the Situation Room, brought to you by Chevy of Fayetteville, with something that may perk you up even more.
Yeah. I think this is a really good sign for Arkansas moving into the postseason. So when Arkansas makes the NCAA tournament, I think there are two reasons to really be excited as a Razorback fan. One is the fact that they're going to play a team that is worse than any team, with rare exception, maybe like an LSU or whatever, worse than any team they've played since January 1st. That's a positive. They're not going to face any team in round one who is as good as any SEC team. That
Most
they've played,
likely.
in all likelihood. Here's the other thing. So John Calipari has coached a team with a top 30 defense 11 times in his career, dating back to 2000, 2001.
As Bart told me during the break, Chuck, the turn of the century.
I mean, technically.
Wow.
Dating back to the turn of the century.
That is a good way to phrase it.
Here
It
we
kind
go.
of adds to the meaning.
11 times he's had a top 30 team in that span. All 11 times those teams made the second weekend of the NCAA basketball tournament, okay? Made it to at least the Sweet 16, and 9 of the 11 times made it to at least the Elite 8. Arkansas is currently 20th in defensive efficiency.
Well, I don't get break my head cold.
What do you think about that?
Reach for comment. Here's Lou Holtz.
That's right. What do you think about that?
Well, I think you just said it all right there.
Put that.
Look.
No, you're right.
So 11 times. So since 2000, the turn of the century.
Since the turn of the century,
Cal's had 11 teams
that have ranked in the top 30 in defensive efficiency.
and they've gone to at least the second round of the NCAA tournament
No,
every time.
to the second weekend. At least the Sweet 16.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Every single
distinction.
time. All 11
Won
times.
at least 2 games.
Right. All 11 times. And look, there's a really, defense wins you games in the postseason. That's always been true. And so
Don't get people excited, Bart. Don't get people excited. But there's a great
sorry.
there's
It's
a
happening.
lot of merit to this point, Chuck. There's a lot of merit to a
Chuck's
team
looking at
that's
the
fun.
I'm just thinking about the cutout at the Sweet 16. That's all I'm thinking about.
I don't think the NCAA will go for that.
You never know.
Here, I want to just say this. We got to hit a break. Tom Hart's coming up, but I love when Chuck is genuinely excited, and Chuck was genuinely excited about this cutout.
I was genuinely
I mean,
excited.
it started as a dream when you were out with COVID for 6 weeks. And we decided we had to put something over there in your chair. I mean, it was Chuck's idea. Edward got right on
Bo
it.
made it happen.
And then I just provided the
He
credit
paid
card.
for it. He paid for it.
And then I may have paid someone to hold it at the student section last night.
Chuck was
But
sending us
it
photos.
was a team effort.
Pre-game. Chuck never texts us before a
didn't know.
game.
I'm not
and
gonna
Chuck
lie.
is sending us photos.
I didn't know Chuck could send a photo via text on his phone until last night. That's a true story. That I swear. I was like, well, dang. Okay.
See, normally I don't even think about you guys when I'm at the game.
Right,
But,
that's what I'm
last
saying.
night, I
That's what
couldn't
I'm
help
saying.
myself.
Chuck doesn't break.
Bart.
And when Chuck leaves the broadcast table, like to go to the restroom during halftime or whatever, he does not break stride.
No,
that is
no,
a
no.
That
hard
is not
and
true.
fast rule. He stopped and spoke to Peyton, who was holding you, the cardboard
Well,
cutout
again-
version.
again, let's
of
make
you
sure the
last night.
holding
Hey,
the
don't
cardboard
don't
cutout.
get caught holding your taxes. Get ahead of April. Tax season's here. Filing with H&R Block can make a difficult task easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy that your max refund is guaranteed. 70 years of tax expertise to work for you at H&R Block. Tom Hart called the game last night.
Tommy.
What were his thoughts on the Bart cutout? I mean, the game. When we come back on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
When you went into the Hall of Fame, I think it was at a Western Sizzling.
I think it was. It was at a motel. It wasn't a hotel. It was a motel.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block. If you haven't tried a flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Pascal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPascal.com today to schedule your service. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Man, can you imagine if we all lived together and we just walked into the living room at like 6 a.m. and just started talking each other's heads off? There's no good morning. I can't have my first cup of
somebody
coffee.
would get shot.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, 877-377-6963. And when we come back after this commercial break that we fall started.
Featuring unbeatable discounts and exclusive incentives on many of your favorite Honda rides like Honda Ranchers, Honda Pioneers, and Honda Goldwing, plus so much more. Whether you're tackling trails or cruising in style, we've got the perfect ride for you. Visit Heartland Honda in Springdale today and make 2025 your best year yet. Heartland Honda, work hard, play hard. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda ATVs side-by-sides are 16 years and older.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You backtrack as well as anybody out there. I mean,
It's a
I got to give
seven-step
you
drop.
credit for that.
Seven-step
that is
drop,
a
get the ball
seven-step
out.
drop. I will give you that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
ESPN's Tom Hart called the game last night. I don't know if the game ended in time for Tom to catch a 6 a.m. flight out of XNA or not, but he's joining us now. The game seemingly ended just a couple of hours ago. Tom, good morning. It's like forever.
See a little bit more of this beautiful part of the country and hang out a little bit this morning. Take the later flight.
Oh, okay.
Well, good for you.
That's great. It's a beautiful morning for a walk. It's really nice outside. It's a great time to be here. Overall, your thoughts last night? The environment, the game,
Well, what
the
was
moment.
deal? There was, the crowd was amazing, but there was this one part of the student section, and there's this dude who might as well have been a cardboard cutout. He wasn't cheering. He wasn't making any noise. He was just standing there like a gnome.
Yeah,
smiling though.
Yeah, that's Bart, the Chuck and
One of
Bo
those
producer.
creepy smiles, though. One of those, like, if he was your neighbor,
right?
You just look through the blinds at night. Like, wait, what's really going on?
Come on, Tom.
Yeah.
Come on.
If you were just
So
to go
true.
shoulders up on the
Wow,
cutout, I can see where he's coming
I didn't
from.
realize how creepy that was.
There is
I
some
didn't-
creepiness involved.
I didn't realize. I thought this was going to be good for
I'm
you.
throwing it in the dumpster.
Now we've got people like this is on like next door neighbor app. Oh, no. People are sharing this. That wasn't the plan. I'm so sorry. Wow.
No, if this were a character of the Nextdoor app, there would be a Karen yelling at him from his Ring doorbell saying, "You don't even live in this neighborhood."
Oh, it's awesome.
That's so true.
Do you belong here?
Yeah, you don't even live in this neighborhood. That's great. Who is it's go? Has anybody seen this guy? To my knowledge, he doesn't even live in this neighborhood. Everybody be aware. Well, that was hey, it made it on tele. That's COVID Bart. Bart
part of
was
the
out
open.
for like 2
Part of
weeks.
the open.
Yep, there it was, and great job by the student section. And that was a fun time for Razorback fans last night, all the way around.
It should have been. I was pleasantly surprised, guys. I had the game at Texas in the first matchup of the season, and this is not a slight at any one fan base or student section or another, but I could really feel that the rivalry meant something in the building last night. I didn't feel that way at the Moody Center. It just seemed like another game for their side of the fan base. And gosh, I love college rivalries, no matter what it is, and I think it brings so much energy and emotion to the game. And I thought that was, it's not my first time in town this year. The crowd was great last time I was here, but that was really impressive, I guess, because it was a little bit unexpected given the late start and the energy that the crowd had toward Texas. I thought was fantastic.
Tom, what's been your take on Arkansas and sort of the evolution of the team from starting 0-5 and then going through the Boogie Fland injury? Adu Thero missed last night. Their top 2 scorers then out. They just seem different than they were to start the season as a unit.
I don't know what the comparison is for John Calipari, but, we've seen enough of these Hollywood movies where you go into a witch's lair and whatever potion that witch is putting together, there's not only a book for it, but there's also a wall full of ingredients that she can pull, eye of a newt or whatever. I feel like that's John Calipari in his lab. You can give him any recipe and say, okay, here are your ingredients. You've got to make this. Like, he'd be great at one of those chef cooking shows. And to put what he's put together from a roster standpoint, I think people were rightfully concerned, in the offseason going, wait a second, he's only going to have how many scholarship guys? But he just has a way of reaching his kids and getting them to play for him. I think part of that with this team is the evolution of Nellie Davis, and by the way, it's not new to Arkansas. Every coach in college basketball is saying to himself, how can I quicken this rate of maturity within my team so everybody knows their roles when you've got new players and new veteran players every year. But it takes a little while. And nobody would suggest that any injury is good, but it allowed Cal to shorten his rotation, to show guys that he believed in them. They didn't have to look over their shoulder if they made a mistake. And he's been much better at that, I think, overall this year. And it seems to work. And the conversation we had at practice yesterday centered around his Final Four team at UMass. And he played 5 starters, and he had 1 bench guy who played 17 minutes a game. And when Marcus Camby got hurt against St. Bonaventure, guess what? That bench guy minutes jumped from 17 to, 25, and the walk-on, who rarely saw the floor, got an opportunity. And that was his first great team, and I think some of that residue still resides in him, that he likes a nice, tight rotation.
Tom, you said something a minute ago. You were talking about the Texas student section, the atmosphere, just the overall vibe within the building. You obviously travel around, go to a lot of places, watch a lot of teams play. The Cal factor, and I'm asking about this from just a television perspective, someone who travels around and watches a lot of coaches. When you go into an arena and you're preparing to do a game, I've watched the guys come in to shoot around this year. They just know that it's a little bit more of an event than if you're, calling maybe somebody else's ball game on a Wednesday night.
Absolutely. I mean, he's not only a Hall of Famer, but he's a personality. I mean, you don't get phone calls from production companies saying, hey, we want to come to your town and do a show. If it's not, look, Bo's done it. Like, you try to do that with an uninteresting coach. Oh, that ain't easy. You try to drum up interest in somebody who doesn't show a lot of personality. That is probably pretty hard to do. He oozes personality, and you can see why he's so successful on the recruiting trail, just in anything he's doing. And I think he likes being in places where the spotlight is on him and the spotlight is bright. I mean, if he farted in Lexington and made the front page of the paper.
Well, that's the truth now.
Listen, he's used to the attention.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's so true. Oh, wow. Tom Hart with us, ESPN play-by-play man, called the game last night. I think you've seen more of Cal up close than maybe we have over the years, just because of the nature of your job and how many games you call. And this might be one of his best coaching jobs. I mean, this is a brand new roster, the adversity they've faced, and they started 0-5, and they've got NIL money involved, all that stuff.
And by the way, you're going to see multiple sides of Cal, right, as then you get into the offseason, but he knows how to do battle, too, and this, the information that came out of Georgia yesterday in terms of how they're splitting up their rev share and specifically how much is going to men's basketball. Get ready for a battle between the basketball coaches and the ADs and the commissioner saying, hey, we need guidance here because this is the most amazing college basketball season any single conference has ever had. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out what math got us to this point. And now those coaches want to make sure they protect that investment. Yeah, I think the job that he's done this year really started before any of the injuries started. It might be trite to say it's a kinder, gentler Cal, but relative to the consistent foot stomping that you got at Kentucky and the need to have friction in all these different areas, I said this the previous game I did. He's coaching happier, and I think it's a clear-minded staff that says we had a chance to hit the reset button as a staff. Where can we improve? And just the simple execution on defensive baseline out of bounds. There's a game last year where Georgia beat them with the same play like four times. And I had them then at South Carolina the next game, and Lamont Paris says, what's funny is we've got that same play in, but obviously it's not going to work. They'll have fixed that inefficiency. We have to go to the wrinkle off of it. And South Carolina scored on the exact same play that Georgia did another 3 times. So I don't know what was missing in that attention to detail, but it was lacking for some reason. So I think it's not only John Calipari, I think it's his entire staff that, all right, we've got a fresh slate. Let's eliminate some of these inefficiencies, and let's coach these guys up. And that's what I see when I watch this Arkansas team play that was missing.
All right, we'll get you out of here with this. I know you're not Joe Lunardi, and all you hear is his name, and you probably mentioned it a bunch. But do you think this is an NCAA tournament team?
Yes, and not just for the reasons that Arkansas fans want to hear. I mean, maybe Arkansas fans, I don't care how we get in, just get us to the second weekend, right? But it's not all about Arkansas. I mean, Wake Forest lost last night. The college basketball at this edge of it is very average. And so I think Arkansas's resume is good enough to be in the tournament. I think it'll withstand a lot of tests, but primarily because the other teams that are surrounding them on the bubble, it's like being faster than the grizzly bear, right? Like if you're with a bunch of your friends, you don't have to be faster than the bear. Just be faster than your fattest friend, right? You'll get to him first, and you'll be in the clear. So you can't look at it just in a vacuum. I think it's a talented team. I think they are definitely an NCAA tournament team, but I also factor in the other part of the equation, which is, the fat kid's going to get eaten by that bear first.
Tom Hart with all the sayings today. We went Karen, fat kid getting eaten by a grizzly bear, and Cal farting in Lexington. On the bingo card, we hit them all.
I had written all that down, too.
Hit them all.
Bart's a creeper.
That was great. That's another one. Yeah. Hey, Tom, thanks a bunch, man. You're the best.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate it every time.
My pleasure. Always great to run into you guys. Thanks
all
so
right.
much.
Hey, man, safe travels, Tom.
Tom's delirious, too. I mean, we're all working on minimal sleep, and sometimes when you're delirious, things just come out.
It was great. He was on a roll. That was fantastic.
That was really good.
I didn't have the creepy look on Bart, but now I see it.
I did for a moment see it last night.
Yeah?
I'm not going to lie to you. I did for a moment think, it's kind of creepy.
It's like a cat. Cat?
Yeah.
A cat never changes expressions, and that's what makes it so
like from the wide shot, it's that's a good-looking guy. But then if you were like come in tight shot, how they do it on television, the slow zoom.
Yeah.
By the time you get to his mug it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that is
I don't know.
No, that is not a candidate for FarmersOnly.com. We only thought it was.
Not anyway.
Yeah. But you did get more airtime than Taylor Swift.
You did.
And Arkansas won in overtime. And they beat a bubble team. Yeah. And it was a big night.
Night to remember.
That's a great way to sum it up, Chuck. Thank you. And
all I can say is you're welcome, Arkansas.
Chuck just sneezed and nobody
did.
knew. If I'm going to sneeze, you're going to hear it. I mean, I don't even know what to say.
That was an on-air sneeze.
Well, I don't get rain man.
Somebody needs to dust this room in here.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, like that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, hey, we're going to try and do it again tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday. I don't know how you can't.
Yeah.
Sunny, it's beautiful. Chuck and Bo show. Enjoy your day.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great